got to win the division. They have
Well, even we need the Dolphins to lose to do that.
They
Well-
will. They won't beat the Ravens. They might not beat the Cowboys either.
That's wild that you guys beat the Cowboys so handily. Because we beat you, and the Cowboys spanked us.
We had like 240 yards of rushing or something wild like that.
Yeah, Cook looked insane.
We ran the ball. Everybody was running the ball hard.
Correct. That is the correct number of rushing yards to get on the Cowboys.
That's how the 49ers beat the crap out of them too. All right, let's see.
Yeah, but they have Christian McCaffrey.
All right, Kyle will be here in about 10 minutes. Elsa said she's going to be a little late.
Literally.
And Matt.
Ooh, tie game between the Ravens and the Jaguars, 45 seconds in.
It is. It's very exciting. It looks like it's a little more than 45 seconds in. Still tied about 5 minutes in. 4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes in? Jesus. Google's really shitting the bed here. Niners spanked the Cardinals, but not as bad as they spanked us. That's wild.
You keep talking about us. Who's this us you're talking about?
The Eagles, bro.
Oh. Well, the way you're talking about it's more like the Weagles.
I see what he did there. You see it?
I don't.
Yeah, it was tough.
I don't want to. I don't want to see it. It's like a horror movie that I wish I could erase from my memory.
Going to be firing on all cylinders tonight.
Hey,
Rams beat the Commanders.
I want you guys to know that I finished all of my Champlain College grading, and all the final grades have been submitted. And it
All right,
feels like
loyal
50
viewers.
months later.
Welcome back to
job.
Zoris's NFL scoreboard review, where we just read off the scores of the NFL games of the day.
Oh my God! The Panthers beat the Falcons 9-7.
Thank you for that,
Panthers.
Kyle. Let's go to Zach for a reaction.
It's wild. It's a very boring game.
Wild and boring.
Hope y'all took the under on that one.
Lions spanked the shit out of the Broncos. Browns, Bears.
All right. So,
Bucks beat
just-
up on the Packers.
just to recap a little bit, because I want to prepare you. You all did end up at the gates of the Elven city, the Elven capital of Qualinastai.
How is
So-
that how we ended?
That's how you ended.
Jeez. Every now and then we like end on like a 10-minute frenzy when my brain is shutting down. And so like I'm in and then I'm like, I don't even know if I can handle this. I'm just gonna ride this out. And then Bill's like, this major thing happened at the last second where now you're a bird. And it's like, fuck, I'm a bird now?
Lizards and birds are pretty closely related.
That's fine.
You know,
I'm just saying I don't have a book about birds.
yeah. They're all like terrifying carnivores, omnivores.
The elves?
Them, yes. Yeah, they are, yes.
They're terrifying omnivores. All right. It's actually their cultural name.
Elsa just messaged me. She's going to be another hour. So we're going to start without her.
Another hour?
Yep. Nutcracker went late, I guess, as nutcrackers are wont to do.
You can't just blame everything on the Nutcracker.
I
She's been
mean-
blaming things on the Nutcracker since June.
Took a wrong turn in the lane of the sweets.
Maybe we should start blaming more things on the nutcracker. Like,
I'm gonna
freaking climate change because the nutcracker.
blame my hairline on the Nutcracker. This is aggressive.
Hello, all you
Frankly,
viewers.
how dare they? Those ballerinas and ballerinos.
Do you want to see
Exactly.
this? Do you want to see the stuff I have to give away to viewers? Look at this cool
Have
stuff.
to?
I have to give away.
Oh.
I have all these character cards still in their plastic. I've got these note things. I've got all of these starting guides. I've got a starter kit. Sorry, starter set.
What is that?
A starter set?
Yeah.
It's got a bunch of stuff in it. I have an essentials kit. This has
Hey, an
even more
essentials
stuff.
kit.
Yeah.
How do you even do anything without that?
I don't know. It's, essential, which includes an introductory adventure.
Zach's
also-
going back into the mines, guys.
Zach, stop shooting on my eyes. I can't see.
Cyclops is here.
It's so bright.
What do you have that on for? Just
Found
flavor?
it. Found it.
Gotta be
Good
honest,
reason.
it is delicious. It's salty.
I have a giant poster. Where did I put that thing?
How giant
hear
could it
about-
be?
Yeah,
I
no
don't-
one
it's like
wants to
4
know about the
feet.
size of your poster.
It's pretty big.
And yet you lost it.
Oh, wait, here it is.
That's a tube.
But it's in the tube, is the thing. It's in the tube.
This is an essentials tube.
Right there. See, you can see it's in the tube.
Just the tip, though.
I'm convinced.
Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
See how it feels.
All right. Let me get all my stuff ready here. So, just to remind you, I'm going to let someone else do the recap. But just to remind you, you have 1 week from this morning when you left Wonder. It is now evening when you've arrived at Qualinesti. Not quite dark. You have 1 week, approximately, you're not exactly sure, to figure out how to save the town/city of Wonder. There is an army of Draconians approaching, helmed by a red dragon with possibly war machines ? And they are headed your way. So far, you have some rough ideas about how big that force is. You know you're outnumbered probably 10-1 right now, ish. And you suppose the army to be comprised mainly of various Draconians. I don't know how much research you've done on Draconians either, but they're all several
Some of them
sizes.
explode, some of them melt, some of them solidify.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know some. We know that. We know that. You take a dragon egg, you shake it a lot, you get a draconian.
That's not. I swear to God, I told you that's not how that works.
Then you do something evil to it, like you
I
call
have
it names.
I have a whole book on lizards.
Do you suppose?
So just like
Do you suppose how to make a draconian is in your book on lizards?
I'm gonna look.
It's not, because your book is from Faerun, and draconians are from a whole different world. You're on a different world.
So I have a one world of lizards book.
Probably the person who wrote your lizards book didn't know that there were other worlds.
I want to roll for that's bullshit.
What? Okay, go ahead. Tell me what you get.
What is? What is that?
You just tell me what you want. You roll whatever you want and tell me what you get.
You know what? I could get a nat 20 and you would be like, screw you.
No, I wouldn't. I would never say screw
get him,
you.
Kyle. Put him in his place.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. I just want you to know that Daryl, who wrote this book, he was very worldly and many worldly.
Hey, Cam.
Don't you say that about him.
Oh, I'm excited that you're here, Cam. an average reading or writing moment. That's good. I like that. I had, by the way, my students write final reflections on their writing process and their analytical process, and a lot of them had nice things to say about the class and me, and that wasn't part of the assignment, but I liked it. I'm not going to say I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
I liked it. You like it too. Okay, someone do a recap. It's time. It's time for the recap.
Document.
The small council is split on how to act. So Rose wants to evacuate the children and non-combatants. Clara wants to try to hire mercenaries from the Free Peoples, and possibly the Centaurs. Yarg suggests talking to the dwarves to the north. And for the moment, Zerwin has been named the Lord Protector of the city. Out of nowhere, a group of approximately 24 centaurs and one slight woman with brown hair show up at the gate. Speaker Shola sent them. They're an envoy to help us to try to protect the city. The woman
Supposedly.
is our new colleague, whose name I should have written down. Jana, is that it? Hold on, I'm
Zerwin.
gonna look. Jana. This is why you have me do the recaps and everything else, because I got a mind like a steel trap.
Mhm.
So we then started to go into the preliminary planning stages.
I like that. I like the word preliminary planning stages.
Yeah, we started to plan. Like before you want to do something, you have to
Mhm.
want to do something.
Yeah, that
Before
tracks.
you plan, you have to plan to plan.
Mhm.
So, Wander as a city has only been there for about 50 years. The thing that originally caused the city to spring up was the mine itself, and it's a particularly rich dragon metal mine. Generally, it's richer than any other mine that is known in the area. Um, let's see. Wonder exports other metals, including iron, silver, and gold, as well as being a strong fishing and agricultural community. Dirk talks to a cat named Skinny Pete.
You
Um,
remember Skinny Pete?
yeah. Uh,
Yeah, you do.
and Skinny Pete gave us some information about the Draconians had used some sort of glowing orb to make all of these listening tunnels underneath the city. We also went and looked at the room that the Draconians had been hiding in. It was the room that I had been able to see using the device that we found on the body of the polymorphed Draconian that Zerwin sat on to death.
Remember that, Zerwin? I remember that. He blew up on your crotch. That was a good time.
We also managed to deduce. It took us way too long, but we did manage to deduce that the Draconians are using polymorph to sneak into Wonder. I mean, we knew it, but like they're doing it more than once, which would make sense because it worked for a long time. I talked to my demonic book some more, or I guess I should say my infernal book some more, and the book opened to the page with Tiamat on it, who's the god of evil dragons, known to be involved with the strongest and baddest demons and devils. And we decided we were going to go to the elves first in Qualinest. And so that's where we went. Does anyone else have anything that I missed that I should add to the ledger? Skinny Pete's a player. He gets around.
Mhm.
He likes it when the ladies call him beef.
He operates alone for the most part. Yeah.
Did you mention the Tower of High Magic?
I didn't. That we think we're hoping that by talking to the elves in Qualinest rather, that we can gain access to the Tower of High Magic, and hopefully they'll help us out. Oh, I missed this part. There may be as many as 600 combat-capable individuals in Wonder. If I'm remembering right, there are 40 total guards,
Hey,
and
is this a
several of them
dagger?
are hurt real bad right now. So, Zerwin, do you want to? How's the tuning into the helmet going?
Great question, Ezra. Great question. How is that going?
You guys know as much as I do. Currently.
That can't be right. That can't be true.
It can be, sadly.
It's true.
Jesus.
All right. So you decided this. Listen, that was a great recap. Good job, Ezra. I just want to remind you though that you decided to go see the elves first because you were curious about A, the mage tower, and B, perhaps the presence of another dragon, right, that you heard about. And C, because what's his face, the green-haired elf, said you should go there first.
Yeah, gonna forget his name. The person who's in,
Bolus.
Yeah,
yeah,
Follis.
Follis, the person in charge of recording the history.
So
Or, yeah, go ahead.
then you had Kiggy and her brother, Stalbrand, open a door which brought you semi-close to the elves. Then you basically hoofed it for, two-thirds of a day, most of the daylight, and you arrived just before evening, late afternoon, early evening, at the gates of the city, which is where I left you. So just to iterate a little bit, the city gates here, this city is built on massive, massive trees that are as big around as buildings, and there are dozens of them, and they tower above the rest of the tree line. I can hear your mic when you do that, Kyle.
Yeah, sorry, turn it off.
So the trees interlink their lowest boughs, and on top of those boughs they have built most of their cities and then attached them to the trunks. In order to get in, you have to take one of the elevators. You had come to the elevator but had not yet spoken to the guards. Now, Kiggy and Starlbrand, before you went in, need to know if you want them to come into the city with you. Because, they're going to attract attention. The 7-foot blue-skinned ogres are going to stand out. You don't know if that's a good thing or not. So you kind of got to make that decision before we get any further.
Kiggy, Stalbrand, are your people considered as important, sacred, magical, notable to the elves as they are to the Kinder and the humans of this world?
We don't really get out much.
Okay.
Ezra,
Galladus,
Hey,
they're
potato!
almost like a myth.
A potato wizard!
Like this is the first time that anybody has seen them in a long, long time.
well, seen them and lived to tell the tale.
I'm just saying, we got a myth with us that seems pretty significant, given the fact that this is a very important thing, bringing a myth inside. 2 myths, Kiggy, Starlbrand. I say, walk them right up to the door. You, both of you. You're great. You're safe. It's fine.
Galladus, how does that sound to you?
Can go one or two ways. They could be scared of them, or they could open them, welcome with open arms.
That sounds almost like an answer, Galladus. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if there's only 2 ways that it could go,
Mm.
that sounds pretty good.
Starter set. Giving this away tonight if we get enough
All
viewers.
right, so we pick up a starter set and we walk to the gate and some cards.
Pay no
Still in their flat
attention.
stick.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
I'm literally watching you when we make decisions.
Yeah, because you're trying to read if I think it's gonna be a good decision or not. And
No,
I
I'm
refuse to give you.
listening to see what you say.
All right, so you've decided that you want them to come with you.
I've decided that.
How about the rest of you?
I tend to agree that n- the risks outweigh the rewards outweigh the risks.
Yeah. We're trying to communicate the magnitude of the situation, and having giant blue things that are potentially mythological with us is a pretty good way to do that.
Okay, we'll go.
Thanks, Kiggy. Also, Starbrand. Less you, though.
Why less me?
I don't know. I feel a sense of competition with you.
I'm literally the way we got here. Without me, there's no doors.
I know. I'm intimidated by your power.
You should respond to that with kindness and curiosity.
I should. I don't respond to things the way I'm supposed to. I'm working on this. I want you to know that I think you're special.
I want you to know that I think that you are special, Lizard Man. That is not a Draconian.
Okay. All right.
All right. He slaps
Seems
you on the
like
back. He's got a massive hand, but you're also pretty big, so it's not terrible.
it seems that we're all continuing to make progress.
Yeah, that was nice. You approach the guards of the elevator. There's only a couple.
Is
And
that an official term?
what?
Guards of the elevator?
I don't know. You could ask them. I didn't say that's what they were titled. I just said that that's what they appear to be.
Oh.
They are guards standing near an elevator. However,
Okay, cool.
they don't notice you at all because they are staring only at Kiggy and Starlbrand. Their mouths are open. You don't know,
Kiggy's-
like you've seen your fair share of elves in your day, but you don't know if you've ever seen an elf in open-mouthed awe before. But now you do.
I walk up to one and put my finger in his mouth. The one on the left.
Your left or their left?
I don't think that's a greeting here. I
My
don't.
my
Sorry, he
left.
misunderstands greetings.
My
I'm
left.
so sorry, guys.
You attempt to walk up and put your finger in one of their mouths, and he slaps your hand before he gets close to you and gives you like a, "What the hell are you doing?"
Hey, how you doing?
They're speaking common, Bill.
I say that. to him. I say, hey, how you doing when he slaps my hand away.
Confused, odd.
What?
I think you're odd too. Can we go up the elevator?
Sorry. Who are you and what business do you have here?
Oh,
Please
sorry.
allow.
Maybe you didn't recognize me. I pull out the crown and put the crown on.
Oh, yes. Oh, this is perfect. Okay. We're going to do these so everybody can see them from now on. But I would like you to pick a number between 1 and 10. Zach?
I'm rolling.
Okay.
Sort of. Super slow. It's weird.
Take forever.
Yeah, it's taking forever on mine. It's an 8.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay. When you put it on, everyone else sees a slight reaction, but this is going to take place in just a blip of time, so you'll only see his like reaction. You see in front of you, sort of next to the elf, another dwarf. He is gray-haired, gray-bearded, got a sort of twinkle in his green eyes. And he looks around and then looks at you and then smiles. Hey, you've got the crown on. Good for you. What's your name?
Zerwin?
Zerwin?
Yes.
Oh, congratulations, Zerwin. Oh, sorry. My name is Jessamar Stevenson.
Nice to meet you.
I was king in Thorbarden. That was a long time ago now. You're
Excellent. Excellent.
You're with the elves. Why are you with the elves? And there's ogres behind you.
Ooh, those two? I don't worry about those guys.
All right.
Listen, we're here because we need help with from the elves with a dragon issue.
Oh, sure.
Am I?
Dragons are.
Do I have to speak this out loud, or can I do this subconsciously?
This is happening subconsciously while you
Okay.
have a couple of seconds of blank-eyed stare.
I got you. Okay.
It's not happening in real time. It will catch real time in a second, though, as soon as he attunes.
I need your help, hopefully, to help talk our way into the elves to get them to help us save a town. There's a red dragon who is trying to get the dragon metal from under this small town, and we're not sure why, but we definitely want to stop him because he tried to kill us multiple times.
Why the elves?
That's a good question. I wanted to go to the dwarves first, but we need all the help we can get. I think we're gonna. I would like to go to see the dwarves next, but first we're here now.
Which elves?
The Qualinesti.
Well, that's good. They're the friendliest.
Okay. What happens when they attune? Do I know when that happens?
Yeah. So, basically, what happens is the apparition sort of disappears in front of you, and then real time sort of catches up. So Zerwin just had a couple seconds of spacing out, but now he sort of has caught up, and you're once again in real time talking to the elves.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry.
Bill, what the title given to Zerwin, is it Lord Protector or is there another title that they gave him?
That's a good question. I don't
First
remember.
Patsy of
Mm-hmm.
Named Protector, head Protector.
Yeah, just protector of the city.
Okay. Hello, my good men. Are they both men? They're elves. Hello, my good elves. We're here on behalf of the city of Wonder. It's a fairly new city, far to the south of here. My colleague Zerwin, who you've already been introduced to, is the chosen protector of the city, and we are here to inquire with your leaders about the possibility of help protecting the city from a dragon and draconians. Could you point us in the direction of your leadership, please? May we be allowed to enter?
Do you have any proof? Papers, documents, sinkets?
So, you may have noticed that Zerwin is wearing the helm of Dwarven Kings.
Just looks like a weird crown to me.
We got some.
So sorry. Can I talk to Jessam subconsciously while this is going on?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, oh, it looks like Duncan froze. Oh no, Ezra's frozen.
So I'm gonna talk to. Is it Jessam?
Yeah. It's Jessimus, but yeah.
Jessimus, is there anything I could do to convince these or let these elves know that this is a big deal with this crown? Would they recognize it?
Ophinicus would. He's their leader. Tell them that you're here to call on an old alliance between Ophinicus's father and what was his name? Hold on.
These fucking-
Oh, Weaver Warmtoe.
So I'm saying this out loud. We're here to discuss an alliance between the father of Epicus. Did you give me his father's name?
I don't remember.
Epicus's father and Weaver Wormtoe, and we'd like to. What do you do to an alliance? Do you call on it, cash it in,
Yeah,
give it a back rub?
that's good. No, yeah, call
That's
the alliance.
and we would like to call on the alliance to help us in our time of great need.
It kind of gives you a sketchy look, but I would like you to make me a charisma roll.
Oh,
Please let me help him out with the whatever talking I did.
is it a saving throw or just a regular charisma roll?
Oh my god,
No,
can
it's a
I give him
persuasion roll.
Persuasion roll.
Oh yikes. Is there anything I can do to help him out?
You're-
Am I back? Can you guys
Yep,
hear me?
yep,
Am
we
I
can hear
alive?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
thank
can
God.
hear you. Just...
You can give him the help action.
How do I do that?
You just say, "I'm giving him the help action."
I'm
You can
giving him the
describe-
help action.
You can
By
describe what you're
by
doing
standing
do
next
that.
to him and trying to delicately move through this conversation, even though I suddenly dropped over dead for a second. I'm back now, so I'm providing the help action.
So that means you roll at advantage.
Dude, it's so slow. So I'm rolling an advantage here. That would,
Yeah,
is that what you
why
said?
is it rolling so slow for you?
I don't know. I'm gonna shut my Chrome down and restart it in a second. So the first roll was a 6. Like it's like jumping around my screen very slowly. Second one was an at 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Alrighty then.
All right, hold on, I gotta shut this down and restart it. Go ahead.
The Elven Guard goes, Weaver Wormtoe's alliance. Captain! And he like yells up into like the top of the elevator, and another elf looks down and he says, "These ones need to see Epicus immediately. It's an emergency." And the captain's like, "What? Like, what the fuck is going on?" But this guy's super convinced, so whatever. He lowers the elevator. There's people going up and down anyway, tons of them. Mainly, it looks like as you're waiting, the guards sort of push you aside after another minute of ogling the giant ogres. And it looks like mainly what they're trying to figure out is, are people here for like commerce or pleasure? Because I guess they take different, they get off at different spots basically. So like people who are just like shipping in goods and other things are going here, and then people who are visiting family or friends or seeing the sights are going to this other place. The elevator lowers. It's a massive wooden platform that's like beautifully carved. It's got these on each corner. The posts are carved woodland creatures, and the pulley system and the ropes seem to be automated, and you can't figure out how or what's working them. But it easily fits 100 people at a time. This elevator, it's truly massive. Anyway, you get on without a big deal. The elevator rises at actually faster than most of our elevators do. You get to the top. At the top, there is another couple of guards there, including the captain that you saw lean over, who you know is a captain only because the other one referred to him as captain. He kind of like gives your motley crew a once over, and then when he like really notices the ogres and how tall they are and that they have up close, he's like, again his mouth drops open. By the gods, are they really? He points, and then so the elevator takes you up to a sort of common area where there's like a circle almost, where there's some vendors, some stalls, a fountain is in the middle. Past that, you see there's like streets, and each like major avenue is on a massive 30 to 40 foot bottom bough of these trees. with stone laid flat over the top of them and supported on all sides. So they're all these paved, beautifully, like, paved streets of pale stone. And all the avenues go towards trunks, and the trunks are never carved into, but there are things built around them. Then past that, you see, as the sort of main avenue continues, you'll see a bunch of different sort of side shoots, but in the near distance is in fact some sort of palace. It's very clear that it's a palace. Rising spires, ornate work, gargoyles, except you think they might not be gargoyles, perhaps some sort of like dryads and nymphs. Who knows? It's hard to tell from this distance. Giant gates. It rises above even the top of the tree at its highest point, where there seems to be some sort of lookout and maybe some sort of perch on top. Hard to say. But the captain points that direction. Openicus's palace. Excuse me, he says to Kiki, are you an ogre? Kiki kind of smiles and says, yes. And he kind of takes a step back and his eyes get real wide, and then he kind of like gives you all a real wary side eye and then says, please be on your way. Travel in peace, friends.
On to the palace, folks.
On to the palace.
Yeah.
So the main avenue that stretches between the trunks of trees is several 100 feet wide and has buildings on either side. The buildings are always placed close to the trunks of trees, and then where the two like boughs from each tree would meet is where the street runs through. You pass all sorts of really interesting things. It is, in fact, a thriving city. You see shops of all kinds. There are people selling food. There are people selling clothes. There are people selling weapons and armor, magical equipment. There are street vendors. There are dancers and jugglers. It's evening time, so people are running around getting food of all sorts of different, variations. There is some, looks like mead and wine about here and there. It's bustling. It's relatively bustling, and also, 85% of the people here are elves, verging on 90%. But there are also humans. You see some Kender. You see some dwarves. You see even a couple of centaur have made it all the way around the mountains to come visit. Trying to think if you see any other races. Oh, you see some sort of, it looks sort of like an elf with wings at some point, and that's about it. People do, there are vendors, so you are stopped occasionally, asked if you want to buy anything, but I'm not sure how you want to respond to those things. Seems like you're pretty dedicated, but feel free to fill in here if you want to stop and look at anything.
I don't think we have the time to do that.
No.
Okay. Making your way down the avenue, you finally come closer to the palace. In order to get to the palace, you have to go up another elevator, which has a walled-in area. It's a small wall because you're up an elevator. But on top of that wall, you see some battlements and you see some crenellations and places that would be pretty handy for archers, war machines, etc., etc. It's like the elevator is moving up and down. There are tons of people going in and out of the palace area. It doesn't look like it's very secure right now. The other thing that you notice is, now that you're closer to the palace, you see on the palace there are a number of weird shapes on top. And as the towers sort of dot the walls, on top of each tower there's something that you don't recognize. Looks like they are covered in some sort of like oiled canvas, perhaps. But they are of note because they are very large shapes under tarped. The gates at the second the guards at the second elevator don't actually even ask you anything, except again, they question sort of the reality of the ogres. and one of them kind of takes like 6 or 7 steps back before she sort of catches herself. But once you're there, they let you up. The palace area, once you're inside the gates, is a massive courtyard. There are fountains. There are like a whole gardens on one side, which is strange because they're on top of trees. You're not quite sure how it works, but it's beautiful. It is really stunningly beautiful. Everything here is touched by elves, and it's all fine carved, ornate, etc., etc. The gates to the castle itself, or the palace itself, are more heavily guarded, and you are stopped there and asked your business by a gruff-looking woman of relatively short stature. She has one half of her head shaved, and she is wearing armor. Business in the palace?
We're here to see Epicus. We're here to call upon the alliance between his father and Name of the Dwarf.
Anyone remember?
Something Weaver. Worm
Weaver.
Weaver.
Weaver Warmtoe. You know, guy with basket sitting next to a fire. Weaver Warmtoe.
Somebody should take notes.
Uh,
Write it down.
do you have an appointment? Is he expecting you?
He's not expecting us. We're here in some grave urgency on behalf of the city of Wonder. We need to speak with him as soon as possible.
All right, follow me. She leads you in, past the sort
Yes.
of like
Security's
gates,
tight around here.
past the gates, and then into like some sort of hall where there are benches and there are people sitting in them, clearly waiting. Have a seat. Someone will be out to see you soon.
Serwin, who did you talk to in the helmet this time?
Jesse Stevenson, former king of Thorbarden. Hold on, before that guy goes away, can I?
It was a woman.
Before that woman goes away, can I try to persuade her to let us cut the line?
How would you do that?
By
What would you like to say to her as she turns
Yeah.
away from you?
I would turn and say, "Hey, is there a way for us to move up this line a little faster? We really don't have time to wait for this. There's a dragon coming for Wonder."
I guess you can roll persuasion.
Oh boy.
I'm using the help action. Really, I apologize. My friend is being so forward, but again, it is a matter of grave importance. We have less than a week before an army of draconians headed by an enormous red dragon will attack the city.
Use the help action too.
No, only one
No,
person
you
can.
can't get triple advantage, unfortunately.
It doesn't matter though because he rolled well the second time.
Yeah,
That was lucky.
15 is pretty good.
You're not help, Ezra.
She frowns at you. Dragons, huh?
Here's one.
Big ones.
Rhymeroth specifically, maybe I'm not sure if
What did you say?
the dragon Rhymeroth.
Don't move. Stay right here. She turns instead of walking towards the gate where she was. She turns and she strides one of the directions. So you're in like a, I don't know how to describe it. It's not quite a lobby. It's more like a hall with a bunch of benches in it. There's guards everywhere, and there are several doors. She walks towards one of them. The guards sort of like wave at her. She goes by. She disappears into behind one of the doors, and they close it behind her. A few minutes later, she walks out with a different elf. This one is, he's got Shoot, I should have got a picture of him. I've been very busy with final grades this week. He's a hard-faced, sharp-eyed, middle-aged elf. You know, elves sort of have that agelessness about them, but you can tell there's some weather there, and he has oddly darker hair than a lot of the other elves. It's not
So he
quite
dyes it, is what you're telling us.
Well- well. You don't know because he has a sort of white streak that goes like across one temple and down the back into his braid in the back.
Like a Bonnie Raitt thing.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Like
And,
Anna from Frozen.
I've never actually seen all of Frozen, but I'll take your word for it.
Let it go, guys.
Oof.
Don't do
Working
that.
hard-
Don't you
work-
dare do that.
Working hard for that Dangerous point right now.
If the players actually want to kill me, do I get more Danger Awesome points?
Yeah.
No, but maybe if the viewers want to kill you, you might get more Danger Awesome points.
Maybe you should give them to Matt. He's the closest one. He can slap me in the face the easiest.
I will drive to your home. It's fine.
It's really far, dude.
He is, however, surprisingly good looking. He's, despite his hard face and sharp eyes, and he walks up to you. The half head shaved woman walks over and says, "This is them." And she points at Ezra and says, "That's the one that said Rhymeroth." Then she turns and walks towards the door, and the male elf, a little bit taller than your average elf, strides up to you, Ezra. Are you standing or sitting?
Standing.
I'm standing also. I suck at my gut and stand up straighter as he gets closer to me.
Oh, good instincts. He looks
Did
at
we
you.
hear her say that's the one who says Rhymeroth?
Yeah. He walks up to you, Ezra, and says, "Where'd you hear the name Rhymeroth?"
Well, he told us his name personally. We also heard it from his brother,
Stop.
who was.
You encountered Rhymeroth and survived? How?
Well,
we
he
are
thought
mighty champions.
he killed us.
I
he
point to the big
didn't.
blue auger.
Yeah, he blew us off of a cliff, and then our friends Kiggy and Starlbrind saved us with a perfectly timed feather.
Our
blast.
other mighty champions.
Wait, what? That's how we survived? I'm saying this out loud.
Yes, you were drunk at the time.
Okay.
Which makes him mighty. The more he
I-
imbibes, the mightier he
I-
becomes.
Look over my shoulder at them.
This all seems like a lot for him to take in, and for a minute he kind of looks between you all. You said he had a brother?
Yes.
Used to.
Yeah. That used to could almost apply twice. So there was an undead dragon that we encountered who claimed that he was Rhymeroth's brother.
I rode on his
killed-
back.
We killed that dragon. That's how we retrieved the helm of Dwarven Kings that our friend Zerwin is currently doffing.
Doff? You can use Doff.
You slew a bone dragon?
Yes.
Once.
Yes.
And we killed his allies as well.
You haven't heard of the spicy oranges, have you?
Yes, the Zangy tangerines.
That's not. Don't
What
say
is it?
that, Owen.
Which
it's
is it?
spicy. Spicy.
Spicy spices.
Got Owen. No
What?
more talking.
What?
No more talking in front of company.
Sorry.
Owen
All right.
never had an orange.
I
before,
would
has he?
like... Actually, no. He's going to make a roll.
What kind of roll?
None of your business.
It's a Swiss
Yeah.
roll.
Sausage roll, I hope.
My kielbasa sausage has
My
favorite.
warm.
It's my favorite type of roll and ice cream.
Mm.
Okay. I see that I can't leave you all alone for a second.
Not with a roll. You know
We're
what
on
I'm
a
saying?
roll right now.
Hey.
Oh,
I believe
Are
you.
you gonna? Okay.
Ah, nice. I say that out loud. Nice. Oh, nice.
nice.
All right.
Are the ogres smiling creatures, or are they kind of very stoic?
They're very stoic.
Okay.
They say nice things and they sound friendly, but they have almost no facial expressions. My name is Captain Ardryll.
Ardryll.
That's Ardryll.
Ardryll. Okay. Okay.
Your drill.
Yeah, like the collective
Why are you here?
because of Rhymoth? Did you not?
We're here to
He
seek
said-
an. Is there not an alliance?
We're here to seek help for the city of Wonder. Rhymeroth threatens the city with an army of draconians.
An army?
Yes. And he
How-
will not
how-
An
start.
army.
It's only a few thousand. We just need like all of you.
2,000 draconians.
Two.
He
Super easy.
he made claims that he was going to sack the city, kill everyone there, seize the dragon metal mine, and use it to create war machines. We
Yeah.
assume from there he would march on all civilization on this continent.
Yes, by helping us, you
This
will
world.
be helping yourselves.
You're really getting in on the ground level of this anti-Rhymeroth scheme, honestly. Like we're giving
Our
you
only-
a real opportunity.
Our only advantage right now is he thinks that we're dead, and we have a few days to try to muster a resistance.
Can I talk to Jessup real quick? Jessup, was there a name for the alliance? Can you recall?
Oh, I believe it was just a defensive pact. So if one race was attacked, then the other, if Thorbard was attacked, then the Qualinesti would step in, and if Qualinesti was attacked, then Thorbard would send aid.
So for like a catchy name that might ring familiar with Adril.
The captain studies you all for a moment and says, "You need to see Epicus. I need to see him now."
That was our goal.
Glad we all agree.
All right. Let me see what I can do. Stay
Thank you.
here. He turns and strides away. You notice he has two swords as his like cloak billows out behind him. You see that he has a sword on each hip, and also as he turned, you saw that he has a series of scars on the left side of his neck and shoulder. He walks back towards not the door he came through, but a different door. The big doors, the double doors at the sort of end of this waiting hall.
Did the scars look random or like set in a particular style?
You didn't get a good glimpse. He goes through those doors. A short while later, he returns with a series of guards.
A series of them?
Yes, they walk in pairs, and they sort of like come out and like stand around all of you until you're surrounded by, a dozen or so guards, and then each of them sort of stands and waits. And Ardryll says, "You'll need to hand over your weapons before you're allowed to see Epicus." It's more about appearances than anything else. It's, custom, blah, blah, blah. Each one of you has a guard. They will stay here with your stuff until you return, and they won't leave this room.
Sure. Ezra
I give my great axe to him.
hands over his quarterstaff and his daggers.
But a staff is a prop for age.
I don't think I look that old to be able to get away with asking to hold on to it.
Galdus, you good?
I'll hand over my sword, but I'll give them a stern look.
Yeah, I'll
It's
hand
good.
him over the hammer.
Derek, I'm taking your weapons away. All right. They lead you down another long hallway, then up a bunch of stairs. After about the 6th flight of stairs, you start to get like, tired. They're very steep, and there's a lot of them, and you're not sure where you're going. But after 10 flights of stairs, each flight of stairs has an option to go into another door. You just continue on. You see that there are more stairs above you, but after 10 flights, you exit the stairwell into a sort of, there are guards on the other side of the door, and looks like some sort of royal meeting room. There's a big long table. There's marble everywhere. There's windows all around, like basically everywhere except for where you came in. And you can see that you are perched pretty high now and can see most of the city. And because these trees are so massively tall, you are easily 500 feet above the floor of the forest. And you can see a long way, all the way to the mountains. It's really a stunning vista. And it's sort of breathtaking with all the windows all around. At the far end of the hall, there is a very tall elf. He turns when you come in. He has a polite smile. There's a throne of sorts. It's not surprisingly not that decorated, considering that everything else in this room is decked to the T. There are tapestries that are woven of gold and silver. There are chandeliers. There are columns carved of pure marble that look like, almost, glassy smooth. There's just everything here is the finest touches. And even though it's clearly a throne, it's just made of wood. And it doesn't have any gems or jewels or anything on it. There is a long sword in a scabbard leaning against one side of it, and a shield on the other side of it. The shield has a symbol on it, and so does the pommel or the hilt of the sword. Owen and Gelidus, you can roll religion if you would like.
While they're doing that, I ask Jessam if he
3.
recognize. I ask Jessam if he recognizes those.
That's almost certainly a Pinnicus. Oh, you
That's
mean the symbol?
The symbol.
Yeah. A Pinnicus is a paladin of some sort. I'm not sure from which god he gets his powers, but he fights for a holy order. It's a long line of family tradition. The elf turns to you as you walk in and gives you a polite smile and says, "Please, come, sit." He gestures like sort of near him, but maybe 5 or 6 seats down. There is, some like random fruits and cheeses and breads on the table. And there's a couple pitchers of water. He moves over to the wooden throne and sort of lounges sort of haphazardly in it. "My name is Epinnicus. May I have your names?" Oh, shit. I forgot one of the most important parts about this room.
It's on fire.
No, there is above the throne, sort of high up, not quite on the ceiling, but above the windows, behind the throne, is a massive green dragon head with the skin still on, but somehow not rotted. It was a massive, massive dragon, and it's just like inconspicuously stuck to the wall. You're not sure how it hasn't collapsed. It casts its own shadow, right? It's huge. Sorry, that really sticks out. And
Yeah, it's information. That's
Yeah, we weren't paying attention to it. We're all leaning towards the meats and cheeses, and then we're like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah, no, I'm like staring up at the green dragon head, going like, "So is this like a camembert, or is this like a? Is this for everybody?"
so first of all, you sound like you threw a tunnel again, so switch your mic input again. And it gives the, like, as Appinicus sits, you realize that, like, every time anyone in this room looks towards the throne or Appinicus, they also have to look at that dragon.
So he is compensating for something.
Possibly.
Yeah, he really is. This is like a
It's-
Epicus.
It's
Does
pretty
he have a
clearly
specific?
intimidating.
Does he have a specific title that we'd be aware of?
He did not say one. He just said Appinicus.
Is this a kingdom or an empire?
Oh, you actually would know that. It's a kingdom. There
Okay.
are, yeah, there's like the 3 different types of elves. This is the Qualinesti kingdom.
Thank you for welcoming us, us humble visitors, to your court. I am Ezra. These are my colleagues, Gelidus, Owen, Zerwin, Lord Protector of Wonder,
Oh, peace. Fine.
Dirk, Jana, and my 2 ogre friends, Kigi and Starlrind. I think I remembered everyone.
And I say out loud, Gelidus and Owen are paladins like you.
Is
Gelidus
this like a
is actually-
Manchego kind of situation?
Gelidus is more of a cleric sorcerer tie-dye, I think, but
I don't know. My character literally doesn't know that. He doesn't care.
we come to you on behalf of the City of Wonder to ask for help, as Rhymeroth and an army of Draconians currently threaten the city.
You say Rhymeroth,
point-
and everyone can make a perception check when you say Rhymeroth. Go ahead, Dirk.
Oh no, if we're doing a perception check. I perceive everything.
Yeah, 12.
Nice.
Not great.
15.
We
Okay,
got a net
Owen.
point.
Somebody got a 25.
Owen and Dirk, Appinicus has given you a lot of attention, and his gaze is pretty penetrating. But at the mention of Rhymeroth, for a split second, his eyes flick to Captain Ardil, who's standing behind you towards the door.
Ardril?
Ardril, sorry.
That is the purpose for us coming here. That's why we now stand here in your court.
Jenna, you also
We
noticed
ne-
that.
We're here to ask for your help.
I'm sure you will find aid before you leave. I have some
Somehow
questions.
I'm not comforted by that statement at all.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
vague.
Yeah.
I describe myself as discomforted by that statement. I don't say that out loud.
Appinicus, he says, I have some questions for you. How did you come
Okay.
here? Because aside from you, I think, he points to Owen, and possibly, I mean, obviously the Kender, the rest of you are from someplace else, correct? Another dimension, another world?
Correct.
How was it you came to be here?
Oh, we took the Radiant Citadel and also Starbrand.
The
Yeah,
Radiant Citadel.
do you mean your world or here in this city on this world?
Kryn.
We came from the Radiant Citadel.
So there are portals, and they go from all sorts of different worlds. I fell into one from here and ended up in the Radiant Citadel.
That's incredibly lucky. You could have wound up any of 10,000 places. I'm glad you wound up there. Teak looks at you. Actually, Gellis, now that you've spoken, you have some elf blood in you.
I do.
The Radiant Citadel. Who sent you from the Radiant Citadel? Why did you come here?
Speaker Shola, we came here to protect the city of Wonder from the Draconia attack.
Shola. Shola. That name is unfamiliar to me. Can you describe her to me?
Ezra provides a detailed description.
Okay, yeah, but that's a lame answer. But okay,
All right.
Do you remember what
Okay.
she looks like?
No,
All right, never mind. It's not a lame answer.
She had a big hat.
What? No,
she's
that's-
Yeah,
middle-aged.
giant hat.
She's middle-aged. I went back to try to see if there was a description of her here in the DM notes, and there's not.
She's a handsome woman.
Yeah,
that
very
is the word
pretty.
I used. Good, Zerwin. All right, I'll let you describe her. Very good. Did she? What color was
Bronze
her
skin, solid-statured woman of perhaps 60.
Very good. Everyone can make another perception check when you describe her.
Jeebus.
If you don't care, you don't have to roll.
Dirty 20.
Do I have to perceive everything around here with a 7?
11.
Okay, Zerwin, Owen, and Jana. When you finish, as you describing, Appinicus definitely knows who this is. You're certain of it. His eyes just give the slightest little, like, widening. The rest of you didn't notice. Okay. She sent you here to protect Wonder. Did she know it was from a dragon?
She mentioned that there were dragons in the area, but more specifically, she mentioned draconians.
So if you knew you were coming to protect a town from draconians, why are you ill-prepared and coming to me for aid?
There's a lot more of them than we were originally aware of.
How many?
Also, there's actual Rhymeroth, which we were not anticipating when we arrived.
You weren't expecting a
2,000.
dragon. 2,000?
2,000.
That we know of.
We've killed 15 or so at this point.
So it's slightly less.
Sorry, he doesn't
Yeah.
laugh. All right. How did you discover this Rhymeroth?
When we emerged from his brother's lair, he was waiting for us.
His brother is the one who first told us his name.
Yeah, and then we killed him.
Yeah,
No,
we,
yeah, and then
we killed
did-
the brother. He was a bone dragon of sorts. Zerwin rode him to death, non-recreationally.
Which one
It
of
was
you is
kind of
Zerwin again?
recreation.
Zerwin is the dwarf. With the helm.
Yes, I heard you've called on a very old defensive pact.
Yep.
We have.
Let's go.
Yes, it's a good thing that elves have long memories and are immortal.
It is indeed a pact, but that pact was signed by the King of Thorbarden, and you are not from Thorbarden.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you
he's got-
noticed. I don't know if you noticed my crown.
Yeah.
For
Kind
the,
of- Sorry, go ahead, Ezra.
for the helm to function, there does have to be some royal blood running through his veins. So while we may not have the proper leadership of Thorbarden, we do
Oh,
have
he's
one
the proper leadership.
we do have one who has an affiliation of some sort to the leadership. We're hoping to speak to the dwarves next.
His heart is pure.
He's the actual guy. I don't know what these guys are talking about. He's the king of Thorbarden.
He is not the King of Thorbarden, and you should not speak out of turn.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm a little sensitive because you have my uncle's head hanging from the ceiling.
You're related.
Well, probably.
I think if
That does
if you go
not
back
bode
far
well
enough-
for you.
Doesn't. It doesn't.
So what? Like this green dragon was like the Genghis Khan of just breeding all over the place before.
I mean, what are the odds?
I'm sorry.
They're-
Quick out of game moment. You just spoke to the king of the elves and told him that the ancient worm green dragon head that he hangs as a trophy above his throne was your fucking uncle? What the fuck is wrong with you? He might cut your head off right now.
Yeah, I mean, we can all see. I'm looking at Dirk's character sheet. We can all see that his ancestry is gold dragon, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
He's not my uncle.
So at least hopefully, because he's a metallic,
Yeah,
they're okay.
he doesn't look anything like the dragon. Anyway, sorry. No, that defensive pact is with Thorbarden. However, I'm not contractually obligated to honor the pact here. However, it would be foolish of me to let Wonder fall to thousands of Draconians and a red dragon. That is not in my interest, nor would I let thousands of innocent people die if I had the opportunity to help them.
The resources that they claim, if Wonder should fall, will be used against the other races
Yes.
and the other kingdoms.
So,
Beg
you,
for
sorry,
help. Sorry, I just say we beg your help.
and you shall have help. But first, we need to discuss some details. I believe they appointed you, Zerwin, as the Lord Protector of the city?
I don't know why.
Very well.
Zerwin's diplomacy is within his axe.
I see. I will call a council of my generals, and I will ask them which will volunteer to go help the city. For this, I would like trading rights with Wonder. And I would also like one seat on the rebuilt Council of Wonder once the city is saved from the dragon. As a representative of Qualinesti, we will have one of the, I believe it was 9 council seats, be a Qualinesti elf.
Bill, may I insight check this potential Dick Sneeze as to his intentions?
Yes.
That's a big fat 12.
Wait,
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
try I'm insightful enough and charismatic enough that I'm hoping.
No, I actually can do detect thoughts.
Would he be aware of that?
Only if he goes past surface level. He can get surface level thoughts without there being
Okay.
like an intrusion.
I got
Yeah.
a 19 on the insight.
Okay, so Dirk, if you were going to cast a spell, let me know. Ezra is the only one who's really nailing this. So Ezra, he's old and he's lived a long time. And he knows that the elves are going to be around a long time. And whatever there is that the red dragon wants, he wants the elves to have some slice of future in it. He's looking out for his people in his country.
When you say trading rights, is there anything in particular that you're thinking of?
I mean that Wonder will not embargo or unduly, levy our trades. We will already trade with Wonder, but I want that to be secured and put on paper, that we have the right to trade in Wonder and with Wonder.
I believe the council will be glad to agree to those terms.
What say you, Lord Protector of the city? I must have your word.
I turn around and look at Ezra, and I kind of go,
And I nod once.
I look back at, what's it, Epinerix?
Appenicus.
Appenicus? And say, yes, I will write it down.
No need. I've already done so. He basically produces a scroll and slides it over to you along with a quill and pen. And then he stands and turns to Argel and says, "Please show them in. There is a side door through which a dozen or so elves of various ages, sizes, and question mark gender or sex, who knows, some of them, file through. They all sit down at the table at their seats, and you notice that Appinicus put you in seats now that you've been seated where clearly no one else is supposed to sit. They all know exactly where they're going, and they all sit down there. Looks like there's, in the middle of the table on either side, there are space reserves for guests, which is where you're all sitting now. He does an introduction. I'm not going to bore you with a dozen elf names, but one of them who you do recognize is Ardril, who is, sitting in. Appinicus turns to his generals and explains your situations fairly briefly. Then he turns to you and says, "These are the various captains and generals of my army. Some of them, like Flinor," and he points to the man to his immediate left, "control legions. Others," and he points to Ardril, who's at the far end of the table, "controls small, highly specialized organizations within our kingdom. They will hear your plea, and they can either volunteer to help or not." Now it's your turn to speak.
Thank you all for gathering so quickly. Again, we come as envoys of the City of Wonder to ask for help. The red dragon Rhymeroth, has gathered an army of approximately 2,000 Draconians.
Rhymeroth sets off a small ripple, not of noise, but of movement, as everyone turns to look at Ardril. Keep going.
I'm going to do detect thoughts on Ardril as that happens.
So when you try to cast any magic spell in here, it does not work.
Within 1 week, Rhymeroth and his army of Draconians will attack the City of Wonder, sack it, kill everybody there, and take hold of the Dragon Metal Mine. He has told us, because he thought that he was about to kill us and we then escaped, he told us that he plans on using the Dragon Metal to create war machines. We believe he will then use it against the assembled races of the rest of this world. We're hoping that we can surprise him with whatever help we're able to garner from the other peoples of this world and stop him from taking the City of Wonder.
One of the first of all, I'll make a roll.
What kind? Persuasion?
Yes. Anybody want
All
to
right.
help him?
I got plenty of danger awesome points.
I will help him.
Would you like to say something? Never mind.
Dirty 20.
His dirty 20 is fine. Everyone seems more or less agreeable. One of them, the oldest looking one actually, his hair is almost completely shock white, and he has a couple of wrinkles around his eyes, shockingly. He turns towards Gelidus and say, "Are the Kender involved? Are the representatives from the north or the east?"
So my parents are there, so not the Kender themselves, but I suppose I'm representing them, and so is my parents.
So not officially, but personally.
Correct.
Another one speaks up and says, "But you are a cleric of Nuatari?"
No, Nutari's the goddess of dark magic. Lunatari. The goddess.
Is your sect sending anyone else besides you and the paladin? Is this a sect business, or is this only personal business?
We'll be going to the Tower of High Sorcery and asking for assistance from the tower as well.
Or at
Everyone
least
then
we had hoped to.
Everyone then turns and looks towards Epicus, who cocks a brow and says, "They had not mentioned this previously.
No, that
We'll speak about this afterwards." A shorter man with like almost red hair. The dragon, Rhymroth, you said. And how many Draconians? 2,000?
2000.
I would love to go, but we're engaged.
You're engaged to the dragon?
We're engaged in fighting to the east.
Ah,
My
Against whom?
forces. I would love to fight that dragon, however. If my forces weren't engaged, I would send 5,000 troops and destroy that entire. And as he like starts to go on this tirade, you sort of see like the temper build up in him. And Epicus, after a minute, says, "Okay, we understand. Thank you for your support." And then he sits back down.
Who are you fighting right now? Over there in the east.
We've had problems with. And he turns and looks towards Epicus, and Epicus just shakes his head. And the man says, "We've had some problems." Another a woman of
Hold on, before
indeterminate.
I asked Justice if he recognizes any of these elves.
No, these elves are probably born after I died. It's Epicus's grandfather.
Bill, I'm gonna detect evil just cause it's a room full of people.
Good idea. There is no.
Wait, he can cast spells?
It's not a spell.
It's a divine ability. There's not really like a spell. Like I don't wave or anything. Like my eyes glow just ever so slightly.
Got it. Okay. All right.
None of the people here are inherently evil that you can sense. There's a
Okay.
faint glow of evil still coming from that dragon's head.
From the head.
Yeah. Although it's real old. There are a couple more questions. Some want to know more about why there's a paladin and a cleric from Lunatari here. Some want to know where you all came from. But in the end, they're basically all of them, one by one, basically say we can't until it comes to Ardril. And almost as if they were expecting it, Ardril stands and yes, the BLE will go. What is left of us. We'll all go. I'll have them ready to leave in a couple of hours.
You got the badass League of Elves, guys.
thank you, Captain.
That goes around the table again, or goes around because he was all the way in the back. Then it comes back around. One other elven person whose gender you cannot identify because they have a shaved head and they don't seem to have any other signifying clothing or anything, says, "I will send 3 mages from the guild." And Epicus nods. I'm afraid that's all I can spare right now. But do not underestimate their powers. I sense there is magic in several of you, so you will understand the value of sending 3 mages. That will count, of course, the mage that travels with the BLE. And Captain Ardril nods. Very well. Epicus stands. Thank you all for your time. Please have a good evening. And one by one, everyone follows out, except for Ardril, Appinicus, and you. You must stay and eat, he says. And then you must also tell me why you would like to go see the mages.
We were hoping to ask for their help personally. Because again, as you said, we understand the value of even one potent magic user.
If you had a month, I would say you should go to the tower and talk to them. But seeing as how you only have a couple of days, I would recommend against it.
Is the issue the travel time?
Partially. But the bigger issue is most of the time they want to see that you're trustworthy, and they will spend a long time figuring out who you are before you can even find where the tower is. It appears when they want you to see it.
Right.
I'm sure they would find your cause worthy, but they hurry for nothing, and no one, ever. It's up to you. I can tell you approximately where it is, or I can tell you where I last saw it.
We might as well, if you don't mind, in case we end up having the time.
Do you have a map? Zerwin, you have a map.
Yeah.
I pull a map out.
He marks a spot on the map. It's a ways from where you are, but yeah. Ardril is a good man, but his hatred of Rhymroth has clouded his judgment.
Better we got those scars? Is that Rhymeroth?
Yes, but I'm not going to speak any more of it. I'll have to speak with him about it. I will say this, however. He is capable, but his replacement mage, Alasha Veri, is young and a little too eager. I understand what you're up against, and I really, really do. And as he says that, you can't help but notice the giant dragon head above his crown. He really does know what it's like to face off against a dragon. And I wish you the best of luck. If there is anything else I can do for you, if you have any more questions, any more information you might want.
Um,
Can you tell us? Did you kill that dragon? I point up to the big green thing.
I did.
How?
He looks over at his sword and looks back at you. Same way people have been killing dragons for tens of thousands of years.
With your sword?
I asked Justice if he recognizes the dragon.
No. But it's definitely a dragon. And that's definitely Appinicus. Appinicus's grandfather was almost a god. I mean, he wasn't a god, but he was so powerful by the time he retired that he was godlike in his powers. Appinicus,
go ahead.
Appinicus no doubt has powers beyond what you can see.
It was clear that the name of the dragon affected many in this chamber when I brought it up. None of us know much of anything about this particular dragon. Why does the name carry so much weight here?
Rhymroth ambushed the BLE when they were really vulnerable and killed many of them. That's
right.
Ardril's company, including his best friend.
I'm so sorry. Turning to Ardril.
Ardril has left.
Turning in the direction that Ardril had left through. Turning at the space where Ardril's corporeal form had been existing.
So just hypothetically, do we know what happens if Rhymeroth gets hold of all of this dragon metal?
Are you asking us or are you asking the elves?
Yes.
I mean, he told us he's going to use it to make war machines.
This is going to make war machines. I'm just a little, I got to be honest, guys, I'm a little disappointed in this showing, in everybody being busy. Because if a red dragon who's been around for thousands of years gets a bunch of dragon metal that he can then build war machines out of, doesn't it seem like something that maybe is a little more important than, I don't know, whatever the shit is going on in the East? Seems to me like we're getting the short shrift here. Seems to me like either these people aren't taking this seriously or they want us to lose.
I mean, it's a tiny town that's been around for, in the span of an elf's life,
Come
hardly.
on, man. You heard at what I heard, which is that it's sitting on the biggest dragon metal deposit known in the realm. This is a gold mine over here. He wants, if he wins, trading rights. If he loses, everybody gone, and he knows how to kill a dragon. Feels weird to me. I don't know. Can somebody convince me otherwise?
I can, says Epicus.
Yeah,
Mostly
for
it's
it.
that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
great. Tell me otherwise.
Rhymeroth is not thousands of years old. Rhymeroth is a
Great.
relatively young dragon. And
Great.
dragons around here are a dime a dozen, especially the little ones. The only thing that's even a bit concerning isn't actually Rhymeroth, which means almost nothing, except for to Ardril, but the fact that he somehow amassed 2,000 Draconians, which would be impossible for a dragon his age, which means someone helped him. And that's the real component that I will be looking into while you are dealing with the, no offense, but child of the real problem, probably.
The child of the real problem. So you're not concerned if this guy gets his hands on all this dragon metal underneath Wonder? You're not worried about that. You're not worried about the red dragon who is capable of amassing all of these troops? You're not worried about that?
I am, which is why I said I would be looking into how he found 2,000 Draconians.
Cool. All right. Well, if he gets a hold of all that dragon metal when we lose, all the best luck to you.
If we lose.
Do you
If
have
we
any
lose.
outposts that we could send refugees to?
You can send as many refugees here as you like. We'll gladly take them.
That's something, at least. We can start people off so they can be out of harm's way.
I also have something for you personally. He stands up and walks around behind the big chair. Throne, that's the word. There's a chest back there, and he is rummaging through it for a second, and then he says, here we go. And he pulls out 2 arrows. Do any of you have any skill with a bow? Find
I do.
someone. He hands you the arrows. Either take these and either shoot them yourself or find someone else who can. You land one of these in Rhymeroth, and it will dispel all of his magic for a short period of time.
Cool. Thank you. That's helpful.
I hope we find a sneaky companion soon who's really good with a bow.
I have some skill with a bow.
Maybe you each get one then. It's
Okay.
up to you.
I think I do.
You know, have you considered trying to find out if there are any other dragons in the area? Red dragons are very territorial.
This has come up several times. We've been told that if we could find a silver dragon, that would be useful, since silver dragons and red dragons hate each other so deeply. We began with what felt like the most tangible avenues for procuring aid. We don't know any particular places where we could find silver dragons or other dragons who might help us, or at least want to do harm to Rhymroth.
It is a shame that the Great Protector has left. I don't know where she went exactly, but she would easily have handled Rhymroth. I have heard that there is a young silver dragon that went to find the Great Protector. That was as recent as 10 to 15 years ago. The Great Protector is well known in this entire range, from Thorbarden down to the tribespeople to the south. When she left, there was somewhat of a void. Young dragons may try to find her. It could be worth poking into.
Do you have any idea where this silver dragon might have gone, looking for the Great Protector?
No, but I know that silver dragons prefer the tops of mountains,
Right.
especially snowy tops. And, you know, he looks at the ogres and says, if there are any ogre towers up there, that would be a great place for a young silver dragon to hole up. Dragons are even more patient than elves are, so looking for someone for a decade or so is really not that big a deal. Might still be there, might not. I believe Fazanth was the mother of twins, a male silver dragon and a female silver dragon, and I would guess it would be her daughter that is exploring the area.
Well, if we have any way of contacting them, we should definitely try and recruit any extra good dragons in the area.
Oh, there are plenty of dragons about. Really, though, probably only silver dragons are, the gold dragons, they just don't give a shit most of the time. You really have to threaten something that's theirs. The brass
I immediately look at
dragons.
Dirk.
Oh, turnabout is fair play. Oh man, the brass dragons can be lured in from time to time. They tend to be friendly. The bronze dragons tend to be fickle, but the silver dragons almost always want to pick a fight with red dragons. They compete for the same territory. When silver dragons lose their eggs, it's almost always to red dragons. It's worth looking into if you have the time. Listen, the BLE, they are highly trained and competent warriors. They're some of the best we have. The fact that they were ambushed when they were as vulnerable as they were is a tragedy to my people. So we're not sending you a lot of troops, but we're sending you our top tier troops. The BLE and the XRE are our two biggest, our highest ranking soldiers.
How many of them will be joining us?
I think there are only 64 left. There were 150.
All right.
And the 3 mages. And Ardril.
And we got these 2 arrows. Can we go, guys? This guy's full of shit.
Man, guys, someone's gonna have to talk to Dirk.
Talk to me. You know what? I'm the only one who's actually taking seriously what's going to happen at Wonder. That thousands of people are going to die, and this guy's going to get a hold of all of this dragon metal. and everybody's wandering around telling me that I should be kneeling at the feet of this asshole who's given me 64 people, 2 arrows, and a couple of mages. Should I bow down to him? I'm not going to. We just wasted a day coming here. So tell me how I should just pray to this guy, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You want to waste time going to somebody else? Fine.
You must be really popular where you're from.
I don't give a shit what you think of me.
I
Because I've
didn't give.
seen the people who are about to die. I've seen them.
Are they
I'm done
more
with you.
important than my people?
Yeah, actually, apparently, to me,
I think that says a lot.
it does.
I didn't give you anybody. I asked them to volunteer. Some
You
did.
sure did a great job. Are we done here?
I think you've said it all, Dirk. We can leave now.
Good.
All right.
Here's the
Go
old
get our
adage:
weapons.
beggars can't be choosers.
Beggars can't be choosers. You guys, we have X amount of days.
You just got 64 of the most highly trained and potent elves in my service, as well as 4 mages and 2 magical arrows. Should I take them all back? Because I can command them not to go. You are the most ungrateful, worthless little shit I've ever met in my entire life. And I can't
That's fine.
believe that people actually let you hang out with them.
They do for some reason.
I don't know why.
Good.
I am interested in saving as many lives as possible, so you can keep the arrows. And I think that Argel is interested in going with you, so I'll let him. But you are no longer welcome here, and you can leave
That's
now.
fine. I'm not coming back.
It's good, because if you do, it'll be your head next to his.
Great.
Good day.
All
Well,
right.
thank you. I turn to leave.
Diplomacy, not your strongest point, Dirk.
Dude. All right.
As everyone's leaving, I'm gonna step over to Appenicus and I'm gonna say, like, despite my friend's lack of decorum, he has had our backs the entire time. He's frustrated, as we all are. I'm sure you remember what it was like to be young once, with people talking down to you. It's hard. And we're all just trying to get by under immense weight of circumstance. We deeply apologize, but you have to understand, this is all on us. We are all under immense pressure. We're just doing our best.
I understand. I am also under immense pressure. I have an
I
entire kingdom
understand
of
as
people
well.
to manage. And I'm unable to leave any of my borders defenseless right now.
That is understandable. Accepting refugees will be a great service. We don't want to lose any of our people.
Don't underestimate the BLE.
I know nothing of the BLE. I am speaking purely out of concern for our people. I have no doubt that they are very, very skilled fighters. I look forward to working with them, and as a healer, I promise to do what I can to bring as many of them home to you.
I'm sure they will find good ends if not, and they will die to both avenge their losses and protect the innocent people. That's what they do. Good luck. I'm sure I'll see you again.
May the light of the gods go with you and your people.
And with you.
I'll bow and leave.
He nods his head slightly. Outside, as you are escorted down the stairs into the main hall. The woman with the half-shaved head is waiting for you. She gestures for you to follow her. She takes you not out the main way you went, but out like a side gate where there are like once you exit the palace proper, you see that there are barracks over to the side. Like milling about, like gathering things, are scores of elves and Ardril also. They have packs and weapons and armor, and you see Ardril's kind of like busy trying to wrangle them all. And
I'm gonna step forward and help.
great. It looks like what they're trying to do right now is just like get, they were not expecting this, right? They weren't expecting to take off right now. They've had as much warning as it took for Ardril when he first met you to walk out here and say, start getting your shit together. And that was like less than an hour ago. Despite that, they're doing a fairly good job. Ardril comes up to you, Zerwin, and says, and then kind of looks before he says it to you, and looks kind of at Ezra too, like he's not sure who he should be talking to exactly, but you're the Lord Protector, so he's going to go with it, and says, the stables, and he points across where there's another building. We'll probably need horses. Yes or no? Would be easier to travel on foot. I'm not sure how you got here.
The ogres were able to teleport us nearby. If you
To teleport?
yes,
Okay. Okay, so we should be on foot.
if you wanted the horses to use in battle, you could bring them.
Also, we
Um,
don't know how we're getting you home
Yeah.
afterwards in case that means is destroyed
Well,
by any number of attacks.
either the ogre lives and takes us home, or we all die.
Or our friends fall in battle and you have to walk home, which might be inconvenient.
No, if you're walking, we're walking. And he barks a couple commands in Elvish. Did everybody speak Elvish?
I do.
I do.
He tells his soldiers that basically you'll be walking on foot, pack light. They take a few minutes, sort things out. Within another hour, he offers you all, by the way, food and drink.
Do they have lembas bread? Because,
They do not. And then you'll all be ready to go. And I'm going to cut it to that short because I have to go to the bathroom. So let's take a quick break and be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Sounds good. So how you doing there, Zerwin?
All right. Trying to stay healthy through the holidays.
Hmm.
I don't like my odds with 3 kids,
You-
but
Yeah. Petri dishes.
just something new every other day. It feels like. Some more water.
The old Atari patron. Hmm. Yeah, do it. Do the heckle. If we have 10 people on, or whatever, how about 8? If we have 8 people on, I will give away the starter set. And if we have, I don't know, how about 5 people? I'll give away these cards. I've got all these like character cards, and I don't even know what's in this one. Should I open it? Kind of afraid to open it. It's sealed in plastic. Oh, and you know what else I have? Is the old cheesy set of beginner dice. Hey, Matt, when you first started playing, actually everybody first started playing D&D, did you have a set like this, the red ones?
No, I had mine were like random colors, so it was like black for the D20, blue for the D8. Came in a box set from back in the day.
Looks like you guys want the dice. All right, I'll raffle off the dice tonight. Is that what you want? We'll do that. We get 5 people tonight. We'll do the dice and we'll do the cards. I found my giant bag of clicky clackies the other day. Hold on, it's over here.
Good boy, Bearhorn. Good boy.
Giant bag of clicky clackies.
You said it's a giant bag.
It's pretty big.
It's a decently sized bag.
I mean,
See what I keep my dice in right now?
I think there's like 75 dice in here, ish.
I have a mimic tuck box for my dice.
Nice. Don't get your fingers too close; you'll lose them.
Yep. I never get to use the actual physical dice anymore, though.
I'm gonna start using these ones, I think, because I don't like flipping through tabs while we're playing as much. That's a good idea. I'm gonna pull out. Oh, by the way, here's a question for everyone. Kyle might be the best person to ask for this. What is the bet? Why would I have a 30-sided dice? What do you use a 30-sided die for?
Not D&D, I know that.
Look at this behemoth. 30 sides.
I have no idea.
I meant other Kyle, but I would be interested if you knew too.
What? If we knew what?
What would you use a 30-sided dice for? Die, I guess. There's only one of them. One of my students
Pick
was like,
something.
30-sided die is impossible. It's not. There it is. Look at the
Pick
30-sided die.
1 out of 30 possible outcomes.
Yeah, but for what game system is a 30-sided die useful? I've never had a 1 out of 30 roll in Dungeons and Dragons.
I guess it would just be a D20 with more variables.
There's a bunch of games that use a D30. I don't think I've heard of any of them.
Diamonds. They're diamond shapes.
Button men?
Yep.
Yes,
that one
things
about?
you need 30 numbers
I don't know.
for is correct, but what is that?
4 colors al fresco? Why are they all French? Leonese?
Because they have to do things different in France.
Mm.
None of your 20-sided shit.
Mm.
All right, friends. I have a D20 and I'm going to roll it. Oh, I rolled a 5 and a 10. This is amazing.
What does
Okay.
that mean?
I don't know. Nothing.
Flavor text preempt. I waste it with my crossbow.
Okay, we're gonna get going here. I assume Dirk, you can hear us.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. They travel on foot with you. It's dark by the time you leave, and they sort of ask if you want to stay in the city tonight or if you want to head back. They don't know how long it took you to get here. So Argel asks you.
We probably should head back.
How many teleports can the ogres do?
They can only open one door, but you have to get there
But
first.
like, is it a spell slot or is it like a ritual or?
It's a door.
It's
They just open it.
yeah, it's one.
Oh,
it's
so
a-
it's a magical door that they just open to different locations. It's
can't
fucking
he-
Stargate.
yes, it's like Stargate.
Can't he open those without a ruin? He just has to have been
I want one
to
of
the
those
place
shirts too.
before.
So he did not make a door in the Elven City because that could be really dangerous to do in someone like Appinicus' city without his permission. If there were an ogre here, or if there were an old ogre ruins here, he could have opened one from there. There isn't. The elves are also very old race. That said, now that he's been here, he knows of a place closer to your last doorway.
So like an ogre
cool.
outhouse.
Sort of like an outpost.
So we saved ourselves some time.
One of my students wants a T-shirt that says "None of your 20-sided died shit." I agree. That would be pretty good. I like that one. Yeah. So if you once again pull up the map of Kryn, if you remember it, it's not vital actually. You don't need to. But you sort of had to travel, like from the mount. All of the ogre ruins are inside the mountain range, but there was one much closer to the pass that would save you probably 3 to 4 hours of hiking. So instead of it being like a 6.5, 7 hour hike, it should be like a 3.5 hour hike. If
Hot
that makes
damn.
sense.
And it's going to be, now we have to carry torches because it's dark out. So,
No Kurt Russell, sadly. I wish you would.
Zach, you got that headlamp handy?
Why do we need to carry torches? Don't
We
we
got to
all
carry
have,
the horses. Everyone grab your horse.
Don't we have dark sight?
Yeah, rub it in, why don't you?
Not everyone has dark sight. However, so you need to meet some of the people. So Ardril introduces you. Oh gosh, sorry, I just closed that page. Here it is. Elasha Vari. So that's Elasha, Elasha. She is a very pale, platinum-haired, thin-armed young mage. She has a real baby face. She also is very clearly a frost mage, as she carries on her a necklace shaped like an ice crystal. When she meets you, her outward appearance is sort of like, frail, but she's like fucking ready to go. She's very eager and doesn't seem at all intimidated or afraid. Ardril has his troops in good order. There are, in fact, 64 of them, plus Ardril, plus Elasha, plus the 2 other mages, whose names I have not made yet because I was very busy this week grading papers and still don't have character sheets for them, but I will, I promise. They, yeah. Ardril is very clearly in command. He is reasonable and direct, but has his people moving quickly. He has a screen of half a dozen scouts out in front of you who move very quickly in the woods, and they disappear pretty much untraceably. And he asks you only to wait for 5 minutes before you depart, and then you head out down the road. It seems like these guys are used to marching at a pretty steep pace. So Argel asks if you will all lead so that he doesn't
Yep.
outmarch you, basically. He doesn't want to be rude. He says the scouts won't let you catch them, so we'll always know what's in front of us.
Outmarch me.
Okay. This is good. All right. The walk goes fairly uneventfully, unless anybody wants to talk to Argel about anything while you're walking.
I think we will ask like what his experiences are with dragons of this nature.
Good idea.
Real quick, I say to Jessam, thank you for helping us earlier today. I'm going to take the crown off.
Sure. Don't be a stranger. Some of the personalities in here are not as friendly as I am. But I'm glad you're here, and I personally think this can work out if we are lucky.
I hope so. All right. See you later. I take the crown off.
Uh,
Do I have to roll? Do I have to roll to take the crown off?
You do actually.
You made me do
Like
that
a
before.
like a barrel roll.
So nope. You have to make basically what's equivalent of like a willpower check.
Wisdom.
Save.
Yeah, it's gonna be wisdom. But here's the thing: there is no set difficulty. The difficulty depends on which persona you interacted with last, and Jessimus is very willing to let you go. So basically, anything but a 1 will do.
Is it a saving throw?
Yeah, make a saving throw, wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, I thought that was a 1 for a second. 7 looked a lot like a 1.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Put it back in my pack.
So sorry, Owen, what'd you say to him?
Oh, I'm just going to ask if what his experiences have been with greater dragons, larger sized dragons.
My personal experience is limited to only one dragon, Rhymeroth.
Hey, that's the dragon we're looking for.
Hey.
The BLE, it's the Black Locust Eaters. It's a honored tradition in Qualinesti. I am the most recent captain, and I hope not to be its last. I had to earn several promotions to even be a part of the BLE, and then once I was here, I had to earn several more promotions to become captain. Not that you necessarily need to know this, but we're often called to handle potent but small threats. In other words, not armies, but dragons, sometimes more often things of a sensitive nature, let's say. Things that might otherwise cause a diplomatic kerfuffle. And that's really all I can say about that. However, I can also say that there was a powerful magical presence right on the border of Thorbarden and Qualinesti. We were called there to do some work. When we did that work, we were then led south on the trail of a certain undead dragon, which I believe you all ran into and took care of. The problem was we never got there. There was a storm. We were waylaid. We camped to wait out the storm. And while we were camped, we were ambushed. Such was the fury of the wind and the snow that even while the dragon was tearing through the tents, we could hear nothing. And it wasn't until he made a mistake by attacking my friend, Braern, that we found out that he was there at all. He might have killed us 1 tent at a time, 2 at a time, 3 at a time. Once the alarm was raised, we counterattacked. We landed a couple good shots, and Ramroth flew away, but not before he had killed nearly half of my men.
His brother told us that pride is his greatest weakness. Pride and vanity. I am sorry for your losses.
Thank you.
Hopefully, together, we can avenge their deaths.
Once my men and women were roused, we had not a single casualty. Yeah, you can ask him that, Ghostborn. We know how to handle dragons, and Rhymeroth will be no exception.
And
The
you
only
fought
thing-
Draconians too.
Yes, especially Draconians. That's one of the things we're called in most often to fight. Draconians usually travel in small packs, and they're usually extremely dangerous. It's exactly the thing that we're trained to do. The one thing I will say is that I've never heard of... I'm unsure what was meant by weapons of war or war machines.
Perhaps siege weapons.
Yeah, we don't know specifics. There was a gnome specialist named Fodalise who he captured, and she can design weapons of war. She had been working, as an example, and this is not a weapon of war per se, but she had been working on an automated mine cart. And Gelidus's father, who is very good at molding dragon metal, and just a genius at an anvil, regardless of what he's using, what metal. He captured the two of them, and he told us that he was going to use their talents to mold the dragon metal. I can't remember. Did he say siege engines or war machines? Bill, I'm asking you.
Yeah, he said war machines, machines of war.
Yeah. But
Um,
like Owen said, siege engines would make sense, or some sort of automated weapons.
Are gunpowder weapons a thing in this world, or cannons?
It's a good question.
They're not.
They're not.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
That we know of.
this is my world. I get to say whether they are or not. Owen and Galdus, you've never heard of anything like that.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, probably not anyone has ever heard of any sort of like gunpowder thing. All right. But why make them out of dragon metal?
Does dragon metal withstand the elements really well? Could it be
Yes.
used to channel dragon fire, so to speak? In
Yes.
theory,
You're asking that out of game?
this
'Cause-
is because I have no reason. My character would not know this, like other than I wear metal armor. Like
No, I mean, the people who would understand the properties of dragon metal best are basically in this party Gelidus, because his father works with it, but only from what he's picked up from his dad. Owen, you'd be working on rumor, but you would know that if that's true, it would have extreme temperature resistance.
I guess I'll be like Gelidus. Would dragon metal theoretically be able to withstand a great deal of heat?
Yeah, I would think so. From what I know.
Perhaps it could be used to channel fire in some way.
Well, what's kind of interesting is like one thing about dragon metal is that it's. I would assume that it would be good at killing dragons. So why would he be making weapons that could be used against him?
That is an excellent question. Ardal says. Ardril.
I mean, probably he won't. If there are dragons everywhere here, all over the place is lousy with dragons. We're told. I mean, we've only seen the two, and one of them was already dead. Well, I guess we've seen three, and two of them are already dead, and on one of the two, the death didn't really stick. Anyway, uh, if there's so many of them, it would be valuable to have weapons that could harm other dragons if you are a dragon.
True.
We've
If you think the dragons are going to join in, I mean, that's what the dragon lances were used for.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've heard this a few times. This dragon lance. What were those?
Very popular books during the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Were they made of dragon metal?
I don't know. They were fabled weapons, and somebody figured out how to make them during the War of the Lance. But that was a while ago.
You could make an educated guess that they were made of something, if not dragon metal, something very similar.
Maybe he's gonna forge dragon lances.
Dragon mumping steel.
Maybe. I mean,
Or
the dragon
or
lances were. I mean, they were wielded by riders. They weren't
Right.
wielded by the dragons themselves.
or maybe armor to protect himself and his draconians from dragon lances.
You're
Mm.
interrupted by a scout who comes rushing up to the group. He like snaps a quick salute at Ardril. We have a situation. He grabs a stick and he like goes over to the ground and starts drawing. Not really sure, like not really thinking if anyone here can't see what he's drawing because it's dark out. But anybody who does have dark vision or wants to cast a light can see. He's drawing out the road. There's an ambush in front of us. It's Draconians. They're waiting on the edge of the pass. 100 of them. He draws a map. The road cuts through only one or two narrow spots. There is one spot here where there is some trees down over the path. It's not that difficult to get around, but it will slow any group of people going to them. And there's a camp. We took the liberty of exploring, knowing that they couldn't be that far away. There's a cliffside camp that they have very makeshift. They've only been there for a couple of hours. It might be worth either attacking the camp from behind and surprising them, or springing in the trap. Ardril asks a couple questions as he draws, and nods. Then he turns to you, Zerwin, and says, we can either go forward, spring the trap, use bait, turn it back on them, or go to their camp and ambush their camp.
Is one more time sensitive than the other?
It'll be quicker to just spring their trap and fight them there, but potentially more costly.
I think we should ambush them.
Yeah, I agree. Because if we can, we've got another bigger fight coming up. We need as many of these guys alive as we can.
Dirk, what do you think? Do you think an ambush or a straightforward fight would be best?
Me?
Well, yes, you're good at ambushing. I've seen you.
I mean, we could ambush them. I could also take one of these cars that makes monsters out of nothing and throw it in the trap.
Throw it in the trap.
See what happens. See if they attack the monsters, the fake monsters, and ambush them in their own trap.
So the scout draws a little picture for you. There's a spot where the road narrows and there's like fairly steep fairly steep hillside on either side. There's some like trees and rocks down over the road. There is a little ledge on one side. It's like 10 feet, and then it kind of
Oh,
elves
so
around.
they pop out and they hit us in a kill box kind of situation.
Yes. It'd be fairly easy to approach from behind either side of that little kill box, especially since the elves live here and they know every back path or whatever. You'd have to send a group in to spring the trap, but once that was done, you could hit both of the trappers from the rear, if that makes sense.
Out of game, would you be like doing this as a 2-part combat kind of situation? Like one team goes in and springs the trap, or
I can do whatever you guys want.
well, which would be easier for you, Bill? Like, okay.
Doesn't matter to me.
Why don't we just spring the trap
Okay.
and then so we spring the trap, have them come out, and then we have everybody else shoot them.
Okay. I'll go with whatever team is getting into the kill box since I'm a healer.
I'll go.
I can go into the kill box too, and I can essentially teleport people out of the kill box. I can take 2 people with me.
So PCs first.
I'm gonna be better in an ambush situation.
Okay.
So
So 3 and then 3.
Well, we need to. You said we can get on the back of both hills, right? So we would actually need 3 teams to do this.
that was my thought, Argel says.
Okay, so 3 teams of 2 PCs wise.
My troops don't need you to command them, if that's what you're asking.
No. I'm just
But-
meaning in terms of splitting up the PCs. Like, what's the best way of us helping and balancing out the encounter? Like,
My question, Argel says, is do they know? Do they know that we are with you? Because they haven't yet seen us. So do they know that you came here to get troops? Are they expecting just you? Or are they expecting more? Like, how many people do we have to send into the trap in order for them to be convinced and spring it?
right, but
They
there's
should-
100 of them.
They shouldn't know that we're alive. They
Yeah, but
shouldn't know we're here.
There's 100 of them. Why would they send 100 to kill 6 people?
So they don't even know it's you. They're
I
waiting
don't
for
think
someone
that they do.
else.
No, they're waiting for something else. Or they're
I
on
mean,
some other kind of
other
mission.
people chime in. That's just my logic. Why would they send 100 people to kill 6 people?
No, that's good logic. I mean, it could be that we watch the trap and see if someone else springs it. They could be waiting for someone else, and we could assist them once the trap is sprung. But we don't know when they're going to show up, so it could be 10 minutes. It could be 10
All night.
days.
Yeah.
Can't risk that.
Well, if they're set up now and they haven't had time to set up their camp yet, they're probably expecting someone tonight? Question mark.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the worst thing that happens is they they get confused basically, and then they're surrounded before they know it's hit them.
Well, if we come up and if it was just the 6 of us and we go up and the trap doesn't spring, could your teams get around them without being seen and meet us on the other side?
Yeah, but I don't really want to risk the 6 of you alone in there.
Yeah, I also don't think 6 of us.
I mean,
Statistically, we'll all die, even if it's just goblins shooting at us like thousands of arrows. We'll die. Like, they'll hit us.
look, we're not fast friends or anything. We just met. But we have a common cause, and it's Rhymeroth. And I'm as committed to seeing that thing dead as anything else. And I don't want to lose all of you in the meantime.
What would you do, Ardril?
I would wait and ambush their camp, but I understand you're pressed for time, so we can spring this trap. It can be done. I can put my people on either side, and they can close in. But we'll need to figure out how to spring the trap first.
Why don't we ambush the camp? A lot of us are better off at ambushing. They're obviously good at ambushing. You know,
Yes.
it'll give you know, chances for some of us to shine. You know,
Good
I'm
question,
shit at
chat.
ambushing
Very good
because
question.
I wear full plate and I'm about as silent as a Christmas tree with a cat in it.
Well, I'm very stealthy and I can teleport you in.
Okay, I'm with him.
If you create a big enough racket at their camp, it will pull them away from the trap.
Okay.
You also never know what you might find there, but it will take more time.
Dirk and I and some others could be Team Racket.
I mean, I can create a racket without even showing up. Like I'm telling you, I'll throw 5 of these cards and monsters will pop out.
That's
They
cool.
are, you know, illusions of monsters, but they're very convincing illusions, and they will distract people for long enough to cause a stir.
Are you thinking to do that to set off the trap or to call them back to camp?
Either one. I can do
I think
either
calling
one.
them back to camp might be the best way, and we'll just be waiting and we'll mulch them on their way in.
There also could be something at the camp that might help us figure out how they knew we were coming, or if we were in fact the targets at all.
I don't think we're the targets. I think they're waiting for somebody else.
Okay.
If this were like a game, you know, we might find some journals, you know, some pictures with some targets on them, something like that.
All right, I'm going to send you all a picture of the camp, or I'm going to link it anyway. Can you open that?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what the camp looks like. You can see it's really nestled in the side of the cliff. This camp in this picture is more prepared than theirs is. Theirs is not set up yet, but there is, they did bring some supplies with them, and there are, it looks like, tents hastily set up. And also, you know, there's good perches to fly off of, although there is a way to walk both directions. When you get there, I would like everyone to make a very difficult perception check. Fucking-
Natural
Well done, Owen.
20.
What is with you guys? What the fuck? Difficulty 20, and 2 of you made it.
I got a 7. Did you
I
guys
got a
hear me?
2.
All
I
right.
got a 7.
To be fair, I
Gelidus.
haven't rolled over a 10 yet today, except for this roll.
All right.
Matt, in all fairness, that's normal. Not to. I'm sorry. You have the Will Wheaton curse. Maybe if you say his name 3 times in a mirror, it'll stop. I don't know.
All right. So Gelidus and Owen, that's who won the rolls, right? You both notice that there is a large-ish boulder that is perched a little precariously to the back sort of left. And if you had enough force, you could probably roll it on to the back half of the camp, and it would. I mean, it's not really round. It would just sort of like crash, but it would easily destroy the back half of camp. You're not sure if that's really useful, but you also both notice that there is one of the tents that seems to be nicer than the rest of them. As you all approach, the elves are like kind of really guiding you in stealthily from. If you look at this picture, it would be from the left side of the picture, but above. There are only 2 draconians guarding this camp right now.
Well, I got a 4 for stealth, so let's go.
Well, if there's only 2 draconians guarding it, then we can just. I'll just beam in here. Like stealth is my game, and I'll come down and we can literally drop in behind them like knives to necks.
Can we kill them quietly enough that no one else comes to
Yeah.
check on the
So
and
you
then we can
can
search the camp?
I just need to clarify one thing real quick. Sorry, guys. This camp is a quarter mile from the ambush spot. It's not like 100 yards.
right.
Do we know of Jonah's skill set?
Whose?
Jonna,
Me.
how are you at murking draconians?
Um.
I mean,
That's fine.
you're like a rogue assassin, right?
Yeah. Let's find out.
I mean, do we know that though? Like, do we know that you're a merchant of death?
I knew that.
I mean,
You can tell us.
she just said, "Let's find out," and I really want to find out.
Yeah,
If I die, somebody bring me back. It's only my second session.
you're not gonna die.
Here's the thing,
You have more
though.
hit points than I do.
You missed the recap when I asked some really important questions about Draconians. So I'm going to give the group a friendly nudge to educate Jonna about the Draconians before you send her in.
I'm from a different place. I've never seen a draconian, except for you, Dirk.
Oh,
He's a
I'm not a
dragonborn.
draconian. I'm
Okay, then I've never seen a draconian.
insulting, actually.
They look. Yeah, they're more evil looking than Dirk.
They can explode when they die, or
Oh.
turn into stone, and anything they're touching will turn to stone. So they can do some pretty awful stuff when they die. So you want to be very careful about where you are
Okay, Twix.
and what kind of contact you're making with them when you slaughter them. So
Thanks
if
for the
you're
heads
really
up.
good at shooting arrows into the back of their heads, then I will we can teleport down very gently, about 10 feet behind them, and you could shoot arrows into the back of their heads or something. I don't know.
I'm really good
Right.
at giving people better saving throws. So
Range is a good idea.
I don't range.
I can hit him with a fireball. You guys want me to hit him with a fireball? Let's go.
Couldn't you also put them to sleep? Who puts people to sleep?
Got one on deck right now.
Why don't we take some time and breed a bunch of mimics and replace all the tents with mimics?
That's good.
No time.
Damn it. I just want to replace bedrolls with mimics. God damn it.
So Jenna, what are you good at?
So I have crossbow. I have crossbow, and I'm very sneaky, and I'm good at investigation and insight. So it's probably a good idea to have. So if one of you tells me that one of those tents is important because I got a 2 on that roll, then I could be good at looking at that. But
The
yeah.
thing to do, like if we
Also,
all
I have
just
opportunity attack.
yeah, that's a reaction.
Yeah.
That happens
Okay.
if someone is standing next to you and then they're not anymore. You can
Oh, okay.
stab them. So like when Dirk stormed out, you could have stabbed him.
Could have stabbed me.
Don't stab Dirk.
Don't stab Dirk.
Bayorn.
I deserve it.
Oh, dogs causing mischief.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we? I think I would have Dirk bring somebody else down, since we can essentially teleport down there.
I mean, you were in the conference room with the rest of us. He's kind of brought all of us down a little bit right now.
So I think we have him teleport somebody else into camp, because the guards are near the left side, right, of camp. If I'm looking at the picture,
That's correct. You're like above them.
right, and we only see the 2 guards, but they're on the left side of this camp.
Yes.
I mean, we could teleport into a tent, basically, pick up a jar and drop it, and they'll be like, "What's that noise?" And walk in,
And we would be there.
We would be there.
I would send Jonna. Or is it Jonna or Jana? It's Jana.
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 Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
It matters to
Uh,
me.
It matters to us.
So I would let Jana go down by herself and have Dirk bring in some heavy support and wait in camp. If Jana could take them out, because we're not all going to sneak down there. I can't sneak. Owen can't sneak. Gelidus, you're sneaky, aren't you?
Nope.
Oh, well, you look sneaky.
He's
Yeah.
wearing like the heaviest armor.
The thing is, like, yeah, it depends on how tough they are. Like, unfortunately, like, D&D is not a game that supports, like, you can roll really stealthily and go up behind someone and, like, stab them a lot, but if they have enough hit points, there's, like, no chance of you dropping them in one round if they're a high
Oh,
enough
and what's
level.
this D&D you're talking about?
Shut up! I'm trying to help.
Wait,
Uh,
doesn't somebody have a sleeping spell?
So you can fire off crossbows and bows from like
Where we are.
stealth, right? And it will
Yeah.
give you advantage.
Okay.
And if somebody was playing a rogue, then they would get
Yeah.
sneak attack.
Yeah.
But like what I'm saying is, like, even if you stab someone in their sleep in this game, they're not going to die. Like, when it makes sense that they would die because they have hit points.
So dropping in right behind these
Well,
draconians
right, like,
is not
it would make
necessarily
sense
like
that
a throat
Master
slit moment.
Assassin would be able to kill them in one shot, but like, since it's a game,
Right.
we should not send her in alone. I think having someone else, at least in case, like a crazy drunken dwarf or something, or drop a fireball on them.
Yeah, I think that's the idea, is that we send Jana down super sneaky like, and then I teleport with, I don't know, Zerwin and Owen
I
right
guess,
nearby.
yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Well, why don't I try to sneak with? We'll send 2 sneakers, and then that way we can get the most people in. Ezra, are
Does
you
anyone
sneaky?
have pass without a trace?
You do have someone that can sneak into the ethereal realm and sneak out again.
Yeah, that's Dirk.
That's me.
That could be handy.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the thing to do is continue to stand here and talk about it a little bit
Don't
more.
criticize the planning phase. The planning phase is important.
Until you all play Blades in the Dark, then you'll know.
So I'm going to start sneaking down.
You do need to make a decision though.
Okay, so yes, Jana will go down, and then we'll
Just Jana?
teleport in.
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go with her.
And Zerwin, and then we'll teleport in.
Behind them.
This is
Yeah.
obviously a one-woman job.
How far away are we right now?
What am I rolling?
You'll roll stealth.
Yep.
How
So
far away are we now?
No, wait, which direction is Jana going? Is Jana going in front of them, behind? Are we all going to the same spot?
I think she's sneaking in behind them, and then we're teleporting in, like, just as she strikes.
So
So
we're
that-
all going to the same spot, essentially.
So I want to be behind them, and I'm going to try to get them with a crossbow so that I'm not
Are they facing a specific direction?
next to them when they explode.
yeah, one of them is facing like out over the edge of the cliff, and the other one's facing down the path.
And we can't see what color they are.
No, but they're not Sevax. Because Sevax are huge and have wings. Big wings.
So they don't explode?
Wait, they don't have wings?
They don't have the massive wings that Sevax
Oh, okay.
have.
I was gonna say, could we just push them off the cliff?
Well, Sevax are the only ones that can truly fly. Some of the other ones can glide, some of them can't. You probably could push one off the cliff. Maybe.
Better cut their wings off and then push them off the cliff.
Only if we can play the Gargoyles theme song first.
I mean, I could do that first part. We could pop out of, the ethereal realm and push someone off a cliff and see what happens.
Also, how long would it take how many turns would it take for everyone else to get to the sneakers if they got caught? Like on foot, how quickly could they cover the ground?
How quickly could they cover the ground to what? To the action?
from where they are to let's say it popped off when we sneak down there? Like, how long would it take for them to get to us?
Who? The 2 Draconians in camp?
No, everybody else. So we're sending 2 people to sneak down. We sneak down and something goes wrong.
Right, I'm going through the
So
ethereal
it's-
realm, so I can pretty much get there as fast as you can.
No, you can, but you can't bring everybody with you. So I'm saying, how long would it take for reinforcements to get to us?
Yeah, so the problem is it's not that far, but it's like down the side of you guys have to climb down this cliff. It's not sheer, but it's it's like steep enough that if you walk up it you have to use your hands, you know what I mean? Steep enough if you walk down it you have to kind of go backwards, but not like you don't need climbing equipment, if you know what I'm saying. If you ever hiked in the Adirondacks, it's like Gothics.
Let's just jump off and cast Featherfall and beat the fuck out of these bastards. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, we can do that. You have Featherfall, right? You have it ready? All right, I'm jumping.
Don't you have that?
The crowd wants you to push him off the edge, for what it's worth.
How far is the cliff? How
I
far
mean,
is
one
the
of them is
drop?
standing on the edge of the cliff looking out. The other
Right.
one is like sitting on a crate looking down the path.
Can we sneak by the one looking down the path? How
I
hard is
mean,
it
you
going to be
can
to sneak
sneak in
past
from
them?
behind both of them because they're facing out in a V.
Yeah.
And you can
Oh,
just
All
climb
right.
down behind them.
Okay. Yeah.
So
We're gonna do
so
that.
in theory, if somebody was to throw something at the one at the edge and it hits them, would they fall off?
You can just sneak up and push them.
It
That's
would be
how
an
heavy the thing is.
opposed roll of some kind.
All right,
also depend
who's
on what you
coming with
throw.
me? I'm going into the ethereal realm.
All right.
That's
So
all I want to know is who's coming with me.
Who's
Jana.
coming with me?
Jana,
Yes.
can you crossbow the one that's looking down the path, and then
That's what I was
somebody
thinking.
stronger
Yeah.
than me push the one that's on the edge of the cliff, and
Yeah.
we'll go at the same time. We'll
Did
go
you
with
just
the.
ask for a barbarian yeet? Sounded
Can
like
I
it.
just can I shoot
Uh,
it from the top of the cliff? Or do I need to get closer to be good?
We'll,
You
we'll
can.
sneak
You
closer.
need to be within 30 feet.
Let's get close. Okay. I'll sneak down the cliff.
Zerwin, can you push the Draconian? Can you do that for me?
I'd fucking love to.
All right.
Going into this ethereal realm. Zerwin, are you coming with me? Who's coming with me?
I think
No,
I'm
me-
com-
Me and Jan are sneaking down.
You're just gonna sneak to throw him off the cliff.
I mean, how many people can you bring into the ethereal realm?
Me and 2 other people.
Okay.
Is it
Why
a
don't-
burden to you to come into the ethereal realm?
Well,
so
no,
we're
I'm
gonna
just
wait for
thinking.
the signal.
But what if we miss? Like, what if we fail?
Oh, I got a good Kaiser Soze moment there. What if you miss?
If we fail what?
How are you going to shoot
Like-
the devil in the back?
If like we go down there and we try to knock this one off the cliff and we don't, we've got our support is still up on the hill.
Well, we can go at our own pace. We can literally spend an hour in the ethereal realm. We're gonna go down and time it to her shooting.
But she's climbing down first.
Yeah.
She can't shoot from up here. But yeah, you can wait.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
So we're just gonna go into the ethereal realm and just sit behind this guy on the edge of the cliff.
And when Jana shoots, Zerwin, you step out and push the other one.
And who else is going with us? Owen.
I can.
Owen's coming with us.
And
Okay,
then
I'm going.
you should go near the other one in case
Yep.
Jana needs backup.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll step out of the ethereal realm after Jana hits it, so I can just start wailing on it till it stops moving, and hopefully doesn't explode on me.
While we're in the ethereal realm, can I do anything?
You can't affect the normal plane of existence, no, but you can travel around the ethereal realm.
Can
You can
I?
be as loud as you want.
But can I rage while in the ethereal realm?
I think raging is a bonus action, so
Oh, you mean before? So you can like be raged when you get out? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so I'm enraged when I step out of the ethereal realm.
That's a good question.
I'm just wondering. I don't know if I'm going to do it this
I mean,
time. but
I
if
would
you prefer-
say yes, because I feel like rage is an internal process. I understand it takes time, but you can take time while you're in that ethereal realm.
I've worked in customer service. This is an external process.
Yeah, no, I don't dislike that.
Okay.
You'll have to time it because you'll have to time it right though, because otherwise, if you screw it up, you have to wait too long. You'll lose your rage.
Well, yeah. If I don't attack within a turn, it's fine. Let's do it.
Let's do
I
it.
might-
And the
I might not
elves
even need
have
it.
gotta loving this. They got their popcorn out.
Oh, there's a lot of nervous laughter about what's going to happen with this, by the way.
Oh,
So,
this is gonna be terrible. Let's do it.
okay, not from me. I have complete confidence, but my legion of adoring fans are not so certain. All right. Okay, here we go.
Operation Dart in the Neck. Go.
Okay, so Jana, you're climbing down. I need a roll from you.
For stealth?
I need a stealth roll.
Okay.
Oh wait, did you make that already? Is that your 27?
I made it.
Okay,
but
then don't
yeah.
roll another one. Okay, well now
Oh,
you
yeah.
have 2. So you have a 27 and a 24, so that's good. You successfully
Pretty
sneak
selfish.
down, and
Where'd she go? She's already.
yeah, she disappears into the night. As she, first you see her hands go down, and then you see her, top of her head in her hands, and then she's just gone. So this is a problem because you can't see her either.
I'm just waiting. I'm
Um,
just waiting for her to shoot something.
I was looking right at her.
Yeah,
God.
it's dark.
I'm
It's
making a
over a
perception
cliff, and
check.
she's a very stealthy person.
All right.
Okay, so we're just waiting. I'm waiting for he gets already in action. When he gets hit,
Yeah.
I charge out of the ethereal realm and slash at him.
Okay, so Kyle,
Bring in that old terminology.
so Dirk, Owen, and Zerwin are in the ethereal realm right now.
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Great.
We
Okay.
have climbed down or floated down because we can just go in any direction we want.
All right, Jana, shoot your shot.
What do I roll?
You make an
Sorry.
attack roll. It's in actions.
Sorry.
With your crossbow.
If it's not equipped, we'll just have to see what that is.
Oh,
And you have advantage on it.
Sorry, just roll a d20. And then
Roll
tell
2
me.
d20s.
Oh, you have advantage. Roll 2 d20s.
Do you know how to do that?
Sorry, guys.
Oh no, it's okay.
Oh, D&D
So
Beyond, you're
there's-
new to D&D Beyond. We got you. We got you.
There's a red die to the left.
At the
Bottom
bottom
left
left,
corner.
there's the
Bottom
little
left.
circle.
Oh, yeah.
Click on it once,
Oh,
and then
And
the
then you
top
should see
icon
D20.
should be D20. Yep, and then you just
If you click that twice, you'll queue up 2. And then you can click roll everyone. Oh, I did it. I did one.
oops. I think I did 3. Sorry.
It's fine.
Oh boy.
Oh, so she rolled a 12, a 3, and a 9.
It just
Why can't
leave
I
the
see
middle
that?
one out.
Yeah, but doesn't she? Isn't there like a hit DC? Doesn't she get like a plus?
Yeah. I don't know what it is for Jana. Hold on. I'll try to.
No, you
Okay.
get. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the first one's gonna hit.
yeah, it's a dirty 20.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. It's the 12 is good here. You're stealth and you're pretty close.
Okay.
All right. So now you need the damage of the crossbow. You should be able to hover over the crossbow and see that.
Jana, you have a short bow.
Or the short bow.
You can click it in your inventory to equip it. There's a box next to it. It's near the bottom
Thank-
of your first section of your inventory.
Thank you.
You got all kinds of interesting stuff. Pale tincture. Wonder what that does.
It poisons people.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
Now we're all learning.
You're good.
Okay. So roll the damage.
Yes.
Plus sneak attack.
Which is how many d6 for level 8? Is it 5d6?
46, I think.
Yes, that sounds closer.
So do I click on the damage for short bow, or I do something else?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
The other thing is, if you have advantage, since this is the first attack, Jana technically assassinates the target.
Mm-hmm.
So it's considered a critical hit. So you're going to double the damage dice from your bow, but not your sneak attack.
Roll
So
your.
it's 16?
It's double the damage dice, not roll the damage outcome.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
So, yeah, Johnny, you have to roll another
Hold on.
d.
4.
46 sneak attack plus a double the
It-
base bow damage, and then plus her
Yeah.
dex bonus.
Yep, that's correct. It could theoretically survive. So roll 4d6. Okay. Now roll another d6 plus 4. Just roll your short bow damage again. Short bow damage again. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. This one, yeah, there's like an acid explosion. It's not happy times. But that means that the etherealists get to go.
Okay, did mine die?
The one that Jenna shot is no more. It is just a pile of acid.
Okay. Well, that was the one I was right. So I'm going to emerge from the ethereal plane and be like, oh.
A ghost.
All right.
Oh.
I also emerge and run to push the other Draconian off the ledge.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah, he can literally be like inches away from it when he materializes.
But he could also roll a 1, in which case he dives off the cliff.
That
What am I rolling?
Is it in athletics?
You could roll athletics if you want to try to like do a tackle. You could roll an unarmed combat if you want to try to do a throw. Barbarians have like a couple. You can't throw this one; it's not a small creature, but
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a shove. Would be the action.
Okay.
So that's an athletics check.
yeah, go ahead. Roll a 1. Oh, okay. He did not roll. He did not roll a 1. All right, let's see what this guy rolls. He rolls an 8. Okay.
Zerwin rolled a 14 for our viewers.
Okay, so here's how this plays out. Jana reappears from behind this crate, pops up like kind of slowly with her like short bow drawn, and then releases this arrow, which hits right in the back of the neck of this draconian, and it just like comes apart into acid everywhere. Half a second later, as the first one thinks he heard something, but arrows are pretty quiet. As it turns, it sees a giant purple-haired face of dwarf face, which barrels into its chest and launches it backwards off the cliff. Luckily for you, this is not one of the flying ones. There's one that can fly and one that can glide. And you see its eyes get really wide, and it reaches out to grab you, and like catches the edges of your shirt but misses, and then does the whole cinematic like arms flailing, as it falls off the cliff and splatters on the ground in a fairly gruesome way.
also
tell-
acid, yes.
Oh, you can't see what happened to it,
Oh, okay.
but you heard a nasty thing, and you see like a dark spot down there that is not moving. Um, I want to end soon, so I want to just move this last part around. When you investigate, there's no other draconians here yet. But when you investigate the tents, you do find a log, which indicates that like a not like a log that you burn, like a like a
Oh.
book,
A ledger.
a ledger. Thank you.
You can burn those too.
Yeah, you can also burn ledgers. Yes. It indicates that they are hunting for elf patrols, which regularly go through here, especially in the evening, which is true. Jarl confirms. It looks like they're just trying to ambush and kill any elves in this area. You're not sure why they sent 100. Typically, the elven patrols are like half a dozen. Maybe
Because
they
their
have,
own troops just keep exploding inexplicably. I mean,
maybe they have bad information. Maybe they know something else. But there is also a cage inside the tent, and inside this cage is a figure. And we're gonna leave it right there before you find out what this figure is.
How big's the
I speak
cage?
to animals.
How big's the cage?
I have speak to figures.
Big enough to fit a person in.
I
I
can
cast
speak to
speaks a
people.
cage.
Like small enough to
Like
not fit a
Nicolas
horse
Cage?
in?
No, you could not fit a horse in this cage. It is a
It's like designed for a humanoid.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one of those, picture the thing they used to hang off the, you know what I'm
A
talking
gibbet?
about? Gibbet, thank
in
you.
water world.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Waterworld.
It's a gibbet,
That's
yes.
what's up. Have you ever seen such a thing as paper?
That's going to cost half your chits.
That's funny.
I would like to do a couple of things here. First of all, if you guys want to give out Danger Awesome points to each other.
Jonna, obviously, for fucking, murder bolting the fuck out of that.
Oh, good old murder bolt. Yeah.
Yep, John can
That
have
is
mine
a
as well.
real
So
great
record
Hans
these.
Gruber
Could you
gift.
guys explain what they do? Because I'm typing this stuff down.
Danger Awesome points. If you have 10 of them, you can re-roll.
A
And
bad
if you
roll.
have 20 of them, you can force Bill to re-roll or something. That's what they do. And it's basically like we usually decide, it's like, oh, I really liked your role play, or I really liked that moment,
Pretty much for any reason, you could give somebody a Danger Awesome point.
Yeah,
Like
you can
really
be like,
really like
Dirk looked really
moment.
handsome tonight while he was like talking shit. He looked so handsome. Look at that face.
I'm gonna give mine to Janet as well for rolling. She had like 3 or 4 rolls in the 20s tonight.
Those were big ones.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
You have to give one out too, Jana.
To Owen.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you all for being patient with me learning how to do this.
Oh,
Mine's
don't
going to
worry.
Zerwin
We all
for
started at some point,
for shoving that guy off the cliff and also repeatedly phasing out. Talking to some dude in another realm and not telling us what it's about.
So if
Hey, you
you
guys
all
all
want to,
good job tonight. It's just flowing with me calling out the contract names you guys had never heard of before. Nobody
all
batted
of
an
a
eye in
sudden
this
a
group.
barbarian to do the talking.
if you all want to vote in that poll, listeners and watchers. Okay, so the other thing is, so 2 Sundays from now is New Year's Eve, and it's my annual get really drunk night, so that's not going to work for me.
I can play though.
The following
You guys want to
Sunday,
play without Bill?
I would love to play because I will be in Ithaca that Sunday. So it would be kind of cool to be in person with at least 1 or 2 of you in there. So does the 7th work? Question mark.
I'll have to check. I don't know yet off the top of my head.
Okay.
It's like a year away.
Yeah, that's next year's problem.
Yeah, okay, it's next year's problem. Okay, so I also am going to give an extra danger awesome point to Dirk from my fans who say things like, "It was an awesome monologue. I don't agree with you, but damn." And it's a good role play. So you
So
get
it's a damn awesome point, is what
it's
it
a
is.
Yeah.
damn awesome point.
Dirk, you got 100% of the vote, man.
Hell yeah.
You can have mine too, because yeah, that sucked, but it was well done.
Thanks. That's what people say to me about my whole life.
Yeah, it was like having to go to work. Like it was like getting yelled at by my clients all day.
Didn't realize we came to Dungeons and Dragons for no conflict.
I don't really want to encourage you to yell at kings because some of them might just have you killed, but I do admire the stand up for your friends thing.
The
It's good.
moxie.
Yeah, the moxie.
Can just be an elf.
Yeah.
Have that be a thing.
I mean, at a certain point, you're gonna yell at someone, and they're literally just gonna kill you, which is gonna be bad. But anyway, otherwise, this has been good.
What's
Okay.
really funny is if we get high enough level and like they try to shout back, and we're just like, "Oh well, we're gonna just kill you now," you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shoes on the other foot now.
Yeah, now am I gonna step on? Okay, that is it, everyone. I'm gonna do my my giveaway to my fans now, and they wanted this dice set, which is what they wanted me to give away tonight. So I'm gonna do that.
A good looking dice set.
Right? Look at that dice set right there.
Oh, I can hear it. It's like
Right?
ASMR.
You hear the clicky
for
clacky on the
D&D.
boxy?
It's so official too.
Yeah, do it in the ears.
I
What?
also just want to encourage do it in the ears. I
Do it
believe
in
is what
the
he said.
ears.
Do it in the ears.
I was just listening. That's what I meant.
That's
I'm
a
just listening.
technique I haven't heard encouraged before. Do it in the
I'm
ears.
Do it
just
in the ears.
talking about listening.
Okay. The other thing is I'm gonna create a separate Discord for this game because I have fans that want to join the Discord and like, be able to like put things in that you could possibly read, blah blah blah. It's not any more complicated than this Discord server. It'll just be an
It's
open
really
Discord server.
complicated.
I will do all of the work. You literally just have to press a button. Don't worry about the rest of it.
No, I hate pressing buttons.
Yeah, it's true. You do hate pressing buttons. Do you see what I have to work with here, everyone? That was a good session, and I want to remind you that there is a mystery person in a cage, and also you'll be fighting a small draconian army of 100. And
Mystery Nicolas Cage.
Mystery Nicolas Cage.
Speak to Cage.
You all did well
Speak to
tonight.
Cage.
And I also will be seeing some of you hopefully over Christmas and New Year's. But all those of you who I don't see, I hope you have a happy holiday season and that it's not too stressful. In fact, Dirk, you're going to like another country, right?
I am kind of. I'm going to Jamaica.
That's still cool. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks. Yeah,
it's a whole other place.
it is
Yeah.
It is actually another country, so that counts.
Great time of year to go to Jamaica too.
Gotta get some sunshine right now.
You're gonna
My
come back with
vitamin D.
Japan. Yeah.
All right,
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna yell at no sovereigns whatsoever. Just be totally chill, mood stabilized.
Baked out of your brain still.
All right, I see. Is this a dagger,
Yeah.
Ghostborn, and Potato Wizard? Want clicky clacky? Anybody else want clicky clacky while I'm giving away? I'm
All
gonna
right, good
roll.
talk.
Well,
Alright.
who are you giving the dice to, Bill? Come on. You
Okay,
made him wait.
I only see 3 entries so far. Is this a dagger, Ghostborn, Potato Wizard? Does anybody else want in on this raffle? You have to say something.
I want in, but I don't think I'm allowed to.
Also, how do you just not give it to Potato Wizard?
Oh, you hear that, guys? You heard that. You want to rescind your vote now?
I guess is this a dagger? Is a pretty good
Because
one,
it's is
but, like,
this a dagger I see
Oh,
before me?
yeah, it's got a little bit, a little bit of moxie to it. But
Ghost Boy
Potato-
Rin. I mispronounced it. It's Ghost Boy Rin, I think.
Boyrin?
Ghost
Ghost
Boy
boy Rin. A ghost
Oh,
boy
it's a
named
Shakespeare reference. Is this a dagger?
Yeah.
Potentially.
From what?
I
Is this a
believe it
dagger
is
that I
from the
see
Scottish
before me?
Blade.
Scottish one.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
it
it
is
is?
indeed.
Yes.
It's handled
Yeah.
towards my
Wait.
heart.
Aren't you an English teacher?
Oh.
Towards
God.
my hand.
Do you
Or
know
towards
how
my
long
hand,
it's
yeah.
been since I've read Macbeth?
Out, damn spot.
It's been
Yeah.
a long time.
How could such a small man have
And
so
since
much
I'm
blood?
never acting in it, I don't care if I call it Macbeth. I know it's cool to call it the Scottish play. I did. I'm probably going to be killed by everyone in my
Dice.
family.
Eating librarians?
Okay, it's just the three of you, so
Yeah, it's got to be by someone.
is this a
you
dagger is 1 and 2, Ghost Boy Rin is 3 and 4, and Potato Wizard is 5 and 6. Here we go.
Oh, let's waffle some more. Can we talk about the ambush for like
I'm gonna
another
go.
45 minutes?
Bye, guys. I love y'all.
Is this a
You don't want to
dagger?
stick around?
I have rolled
See
a
who
1.
wins?
I have to get up early and walk a dog puppy.
Congratulations,
Well-
is this a dagger?
Is this a dagger wins?
You have a set of clicky clackies, and you
It'd
know
be
who
funny
I
if it
am.
wasn't a reference to the Scottish play and it was just like genuinely a question, like, is this a dagger?
That's the idea. They just named
That's a
Is this a
themselves.
sport.
dagger?
Is this a spork I see before me?
Is this a dagger?
Tune in next time, y'all, and I will give away whatever the poster, maybe whatever somebody else wants me to give away next. I got all this stuff for free from D&D, and I'm just going to give it to you guys now.
Woo!
All right, in terms
Night,
of all
gang.
you players, you guys who have to leave, have a good night. I'm going to hang out for a bit. Night, all
We're-
you streamers. I'm going to turn the stream off. Email me for Discord invites.
Love you. Good night.